Huskies, again, they have 2 games in hand on the Mount Royal Cougars. We'll talk about sort of the standings and seeding implications of this game as this one goes on. Right now, both teams are at their blue lines as we get ready to hear the national anthem. We'll take some time and listen in. All righty, there you have it. So let's get down to business. It's the Saskatchewan Huskies and the Alberta Golden Bears, 2 Titans in the Canada West Conference, getting ready to square off. And 2 Titans in between the pipes for both sides. For Saskatchewan, Nolan Meyer, how about that? Just signed a few weeks ago from Yorkton, Saskatchewan. The popular Saskatoon Blade in the net. Met many years in the WHL and, of course, a fan favorite here in Saskatoon. Making his 3rd start of the season. On the other side, Ethan Kruger, 4th-year netminder from Sherwood Park, Alberta, comes in with a 2.8 goals against average this season, and he has been difficult for the Saskatchewan Huskies, John. He has an 8-3 record all time against Saskatchewan and will try to put up a wall in net against a strong Husky squad that's been known to score a lot of goals, and we'll get into those storylines tonight. The top line for the Saskatchewan Huskies features Connor Roulette, Josh Pillar, and Dawson Holt. Gunnar Kinneberg on defense and Landon Kozer on the other side. For the Alberta Golden Bears, Owen Peterson, Alex Thacker, again a familiar face. Seems how he caused the Huskies all kinds of problems in a playoff series a few years ago. And Gleb Tkach anchor the forward top line. Aiden Yakimchuk and Dawson Davidson on the back end for the Golden Bears. And if you're the Saskatchewan Huskies, you're going to want to try and get on the board early, because Alberta has had a habit of stealing momentum so far this season in games when you let them start to run roughshod all over you, especially in your own end. Saskatchewan comes into this one, the Huskies 6-4 in their last 10 matchups against Alberta. That includes preseason. Of course, these two teams met earlier in the preseason back in September in Cold Lake, Alberta. And the Huskies have won the last 3 meetings between these two teams. So Saskatchewan's done well against Alberta, at least for the last little while.
And you know, it's funny, I had to think back, as I remember this is an Aiden Delagore-Jondiere team, and he actually made the trip, as well as Trevor Wong, another former Saskatoon Blade. They went down south to the NCAA ranks, and I remember thinking, boy, Aiden Delagore-Jondiere just really gave the Huskies a lot of fits in the offensive zone because of the way he plays. He's also very aggressive on joining the rush, so he's a big missing player for this Golden Bears squad.
Right now, it's the Golden Bears in the Saskatchewan Huskies zone. We mentioned it last weekend, the Huskies coming off a series against Mount Royal where they took 3 of 4 points against the Mount Royal Cougars, partly because of that man in net right there, Nolan Meyer. As we mentioned, just signed a couple of weeks ago. He spent 4 years in the AHL and the ECHL. One of those teams, the Providence Bruins, which is the NHL affiliate of the Boston Bruins. He didn't see a ton of action in the AHL, but his stats were pretty good. We'll get into some of that as well. In fact, a lot of people felt that he could have had a very good AHL career, but he also said he's happy to be back home here in Saskatoon in familiar parts with some familiar players that he's seen on the ice. Centering pass in front, and that one just goes wide of the net. A great chance there for LaVenture, but he couldn't quite put it home, and now it's Cole Jordan and Chance Petruic who are going to try and get it out for the Huskies. It's now fired right back in. LaVenture going after it. He backhands it against Bertholet. And Alberta's got it once again. They'll try the other side. There's a backhand attempt. Both teams getting some fresh legs out on the ice as Jordan retrieves it. Oh my, almost a miscommunication on the pass there from Nolan Meyer as Pelche fires it down in there. And now going after it for Alberta is Jacob DeWitt. Here's Thacker. He gets bumped off the puck, comes outside the blue line, and it's hammered in by Peterson, and they're going to call this one offside, so they'll bring it out for another face-off. Less than 2 minutes here into this first period.
So on this one, just a little bit of an unfortunate or a goofy bounce right out in front. And just to your point, Matt, about having a little more success or wanting a little more success in the AHL, I've heard from coaches and from players alike. I will tell you later.
Oh, here's a chance in front. Another shot from the slot, and that one is blocked. Popovich had a good look, but it hit a knee, didn't make it through traffic. Here's Conrad Belcourt, fires it in. Arm is up, so we got a penalty coming up against the Huskies as they finally touch the puck. Connor Roulette gets a hold of it, but it's going to be the Alberta Golden Bears, John. They're going to get an early power play here in the first period.
I want to wait and see if maybe it did happen off the face-off, because if it was the stick-on-stick check right here, oh, maybe it was in the middle there. Okay, because the defender had his stick along the ice, and I thought there's no chance that's going to be called, but maybe it was that second shot that's slash in onto the hands. But what I was going to finish about Meyer is sometimes in AHL, because there's so much turnover in the rosters, it's really hard to get yourself settled. You got new defenders, new forwards, and it's really hard to follow a system. So I guess feel bad for that you never know what you're going to get in terms of the roster in front of you, so it's really a crapshoot.
Yeah, you can have some turnover, and there's obviously a lot of competition as well, and teams constantly sort of turning over their roster. Right now, the roster for the Golden Bears is having a little trouble here on this power play as the Huskies fire that one down the ice. The Alberta Golden Bears come in with a 25% effectiveness on the power play. That's good enough for 4th in Canada West, but you got to capitalize when you have the opportunity as they move the puck down into the zone. At the blue line, over to LaVenture. Hall sets up in front of the net. Now back to the point. It's Davidson moving it over to Hall at the face-off circle. Rink wide pass. They score! Less than 3 minutes in, and it's 1-0 for the roadside. It's Tyson LaVenture, and the Alberta Golden Bears have a 1-0 lead.
So that's going to move him up on the power play goals stat category. He's currently 8th, and that one is his 5th power play goal of the season. I thought Popovich was in the middle there. He was going to be the look, as it seemed like he is kind of sort of always trying to get to the top of the circles away from his check, but he lifts his stick is lifted, and it goes to LaVenture, and just an easy shot there, far side. Not a whole lot Meyer can do.
Tyson LaVenture with his 10th goal of the season, and the Alberta Golden Bears lead 1-0 in an early marker for the roadside. And suddenly the Huskies find themselves on the ropes. as Cole Jordan tries to move the puck through, a battle for it in the far corner. Comes onto the stick there of Peterson. He takes a bump, and now former Blake Gustafson comes in. Knocks a stick out of Cole Jordan's hand. As the whistle goes, we'll get another face-off less than 4 minutes here into this first period. Well, we talked about capitalizing. The Golden Bears capitalize on that power play. Now it's up to the Saskatchewan Huskies not to hang their heads early and try and climb right back into it.
And not to completely take away what I was saying before the game, but that does take a little bit out of that ability to take some liberties and maybe whack some guys in the hands if they're able to score on their first power play, the Bears. So maybe the Huskies got to be a little more disciplined than I initially thought.
Lamina gets it back behind the net. It's intercepted. Taking it out for the Huskies was Saunderson. Now it comes right back the other way and fired in by Jolly. Ethan Renier, who's really come alive the last couple of days, on the other side, try to swing it out for the Saskatchewan Huskies. In fact, Renier, 3 goals on the season so far this year. He got all of them, John, last weekend. So he caused all kinds of problems for the Mount Royal Cougars. There's a shot, a good chance there. Huskies now battling for it on the far side. 5 players going after the puck. It squirts loose and goes the other way, and the captain for the Alberta Golden Bears is going to fire it down the ice. That's Dawson Davidson. Now a scramble for the puck near the blue line, and back the other way comes former Saskatoon Blade Josh Pillar, who fires it in. Davidson tries to get it back. Now Pillar intercepts that opportunity, and the Huskies are going to try and set up. Rink wide pass along the point. There's Kozer. Back over to Gunnar Kinneberg. Moves in, fires, and that one goes wide. Kozer holds the line for Saskatchewan. Fired again towards the net, and that one's wide as well. Here's Roulette. Rink wide pass once again. Here's Kozer. Shoots. That one missed the net. Now it's Connor Roulette once again. Tried to feed it back to Kinneberg. He eventually got it back after it was intercepted there, and now the Huskies will try and move it up ice one more time. Kick down into the corner, going after it for the Golden Bears. There is a Kimchuk. Backhanded now, up ice to Peterson. Sorry, that's Dawson Davidson. Now Hacker trying to get it up to Hall. A little bit of confusion, it looks like, here by the Golden Bears on who is ready to accept the pass. Now it's Hall getting it across the blue line. Rink wide pass over to LaVenture. That one didn't work. The goal scorer from earlier. Now Roulette passes it back. LaVenture gets that puck. Now it's Owen Peterson dumping it in for Alberta. Cole Jordan fires it back down ice the other way. It's Carter Stebbings. Here's a pass. There's a shot. Oh, great chance by Ben Tkachuk, but he missed the net. Now back the other way comes Hall. Hall with the other Hall on the other side, and he fires that one. It's tipped up into the netting, so they'll get a face-off in the Saskatchewan Huskies zone. Boy, what a good chance that was for Ben Tkachuk, but he couldn't quite fire it on net.
That was shades of Erik Karlsson way back years ago. That saucer pass that he nailed right onto the ice, right onto the tape at the far blue line. That time it was Cole Jordan, and just sort of following up a really great shift from Kozer and Kinneberg there, working the offensive blue line, really spreading out those forwards and making them respect, and maybe establishing a little space in behind there for the forwards later tonight.
Golden Bears have played some exhausting contests over the last little while. 4 of their last 5 went to either a shootout or were decided in overtime. So a lot of ice time for everybody. Here's Alex Thacker now, the former Victoria Royal, getting it back over to Boyko. He shoots, and Meyer makes the save. Now Pelche gets bumped up on the other side, still got the puck, gets it back over to Ben Saunderson, tips it off the boards over to Carter Stebbings. He backhands it, and the Huskies are going to get it a change. Here's Pelche there on the forecheck. Now Melnick with it for the roadside, moving up across the red line, fires it down into the corner. There's Kozer. Grabs it, now gets it back up ice. Huskies starting to move. Can't get anything going though, as Kinneberg manages to just barely keep that puck onside. 4 players jostling for it on the near side. Now a rink wide pass the other way over to Kimchuk. That doesn't work. Kozer tried to hold the line. Huskies managed to keep the pressure on. Here's Gunnar Kinneberg with it. Down in the far corner, fires it down behind the net. Huskies trying to set up here. Now puck squirts loose near the crease. They can't redirect it towards the net. It's kicked off the glass and down the ice to the other side, where Kozer's going to retrieve it for the home side. Here's Kozer backhanding it gets up to Petruik. Now back to Kozer, up to Pelche. Chase Berthlet calling for the puck. There's a nice pass off the boards, but Berthlet, it looks like, was just offside. Otherwise, he had a nice clear path to the net.
Really good opportunity there, foiled by the offside, and another great job with the defense. You see that one off of the breakout pass up the near side boards. They go back to Kozer on the far side. They give up a little bit of space, but they're able to gain it back later with a great pass from Kozer up ice there.
Ethan Renier to take the face-off for Saskatchewan up against Hall. He gets it back to Reinhardt, who fires it down into the corner. Hayes going after it for Saskatchewan. 3 players battling for it. It comes back to the point. There's Cole Jordan. Backhands it back in. Renier trying to keep the puck on side. What a good effort by Renier. Unfortunately, it rolled right towards the goaltender, but it doesn't matter because it looks like the Huskies might be going on a power play.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see here. It's a little bit of conversation going on, no doubt, as Jarrett Penner makes himself known to the Bears lineup, but we'll get a quick peek at it here. I thought, okay, yeah, definitely. At first I thought, no, he's tripped over the puck. There's no trip there, but it was the trip on the Huskies. So we do get our first opportunity on the power play. You mentioned it, Matt. The Huskies at 27%. They're third in Canada West.
So Saskatchewan's power play will go to work. Chance Petruik there with Landon Kozer. Gets it back over to Connor Roulette. Rink wide pass over to Petruik. Liam Keeler out on the ice. Now back down low behind the net. There's a pass in front. Oh, excellent opportunity, but Roulette couldn't quite feather it to Petruik. Now along the far side, Petruik tried to get it over to Kozer. He tries to keep it in, and here's a potential breakaway shorthanded for Thacker, but didn't quite have the wheels to get there. And now Liam Keeler feeds it up to Petruik once again. Slows down, rink wide pass over to Roulette. Now back over to Petruik. Cross ice pass again. Kozer fires, and that one's tipped up high into the netting. 1:22 to go in the man advantage for Saskatchewan. And they'll reset things here with 11:39 to go here in this first period.
Boy, what a nice pass there up at the top by Roulette, and just didn't manage to work out perfectly. And in my initial thought, I thought, let's not get cute here, Huskies. It is a power play, and they are a good team, and they are a skilled team, but you want to make sure you can generate those shots as they're still looking for their first on this power play.
Back behind the net, it's Petruik once again. Over to Kozer. Now back to Petruik. Pass is almost intercepted, and Leventra's going to fire it down the ice once again. So the Huskies will have to reset on this power play. Kozer out there still with Roulette. Now fires it back towards Keeler. Getting it up to Josh Pillar. And that backhanded pass to Petruik is a bit too far. So Kozer's got to circle back quickly with Hall right on him. Look out, Kozer was almost tripped up there. Turned over right in front of the net. Great chance by Hall, but Meyer made the save. Oh my goodness, disaster here on this power play. Hall again tried to fire it by Meyer. Couldn't quite get it past him. Meyer closes the door, but wow, the Huskies maybe a little shaky on this power play right now with only 30 seconds to go in the man advantage. Here's Rhett Reinhardt getting it back to Josh Pillar out there with Pelche. Now fires it up to Carter Stebbings. Tried to feed it inside. That didn't work. Now back to Stebbings along the near side. Pelche sets up in front of the net. Here's Reinhardt looking for a line and some space. He's patient. Fires, and that one goes off a body. Didn't make it to the net. Here's Pillar again with it. Now Pelche. Rink wide pass. There's a shot. That one goes off his stick. It went over the crossbar. Huskies still got it, keeping the pressure on. Here's another chance. Bouncing puck. It was tipped. Didn't make it to the net either. Now backhanded by Pillar. Goes back down into the corner. It's Petruik. Can the Huskies hold the line here? Power play is over, so we're back to even strength. So Alberta dodges a bullet there as they kill a power play, icing the call, and we'll get another face-off, and the Huskies 0 for 1 on the man advantage so far tonight.
And I don't think, and I know the shot clock isn't reading anything right now, and there was the pressure being put on Landon Kozer. Now, if he was able to fire it up the ice to the bench where there should be, and I'm going to lean on the power play forwards a bit, just because the puck gets dumped broke down doesn't mean you take a shift off. You got to hustle to get back into position, and you never know. You might get a pass right up at the red line there and save having to go all the way back and do the swings and all of that. So sometimes, even though it's the power play, you got to come off sweating and breathing hard from a hard shift, almost like you're killing a penalty.
Yeah, and you can see Chance Patrick there on the other side. You know, he talked about his playing days with the Yorkton Terriers a number of weeks ago. He said his favorite moment, his 19-year-old year, they finished the 8th seed, needed to win a play-in series. They got it. They won that, then went on to face the number 1 seed Nipawin Hawks. They beat them in Game 7, a deep playoff run, one of his biggest memories. And of course, he also said he'd like to bring home a national championship, which the Huskies have been in the mix for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and you just go back to that last season. What a run it was, what a playoffs it was, and unfortunately we weren't able to enjoy more of that in the national championship close to home. You had to watch on TV, and it didn't work out as well for the Huskies.
Cross-ice pass is intercepted once again. Barrows has to retrieve it back to Ben Saunderson. Now it's tipped over to Jolly, who fires it back down into the Saskatchewan zone. Here's Ethan Renier. Takes a bit of a bump there from Owen Peterson. Now Saunderson will try the other way. Bounces it off the board. Thacker's got it for the roadside and feeds it over to Dawson Davidson. Now back down the ice, into the corner, icing the call as Saunderson just about got there. 9:18 to go here in the first period. And you can see on the other side there, Chance Patrick, after the Terriers, he said that's when COVID came, worked a bit, joined the Wichita Thunder of the East Coast Hockey League, then got a call. It was Mike Babcock at the time who was coaching the Saskatchewan Huskies. Came to the green and white and has loved it ever since and been a big part of this Saskatchewan Huskies squad. And he was excited to be here, and the Huskies are excited to have him, and he's going to be a key piece of the success that the Huskies hope to have if they want to make another run at a national title. Back down in the corner, 4 players going for it. It's Owen Peterson kind of getting tied up there with Gunnar Kinneberg. Keeler tries to move it out. Now it squirts loose, comes back to the point. It's Belcourt, shoots. Meyer makes that save. Tkachuk tries to get it out for Saskatchewan. Golden Bears manage to keep it in the zone. Here's Kinneberg. Puck comes loose behind the net. Now it's Thacker, feeds it back over to Peterson. Now back to the point. Belcourt, cross-ice pass, back down towards the net. Missed just a little bit. Now it's Thacker once again into the slot area. Boyko fires towards the net. Now towards the crease and a shot on net, and Meyer tipped that one wide. Now it's Tkachuk. He gets bumped near his own bench as he fired it up to Carter Stebbings. The Huskies here on a change, and they get a bit of a nice bounce as Cole Jordan's able to keep it in. Now it's Reinhart going after it. He fires it towards the net, and that one goes wide. Now it's Jordan again. That pass is intercepted, and the Alberta Golden Bears come back the other way. No, the Huskies just barely managed to keep it in. It's Peltier who shoots, and Krieger tips that one wide. Now rolling towards the crease again. Kruger fired again, a sharp angle shot. Kruger shuts the door. Now it's Jordan at the blue line, rink wide pass. Now back down into the corner. Huskies still maintain possession. It swung all the way around, and it's Jordan once again on the opposite side. Feeds it back to Pelche. Now here's Jordan looking for a lane, centering pass. Can Pelche pull the trigger? No. Jordan still there. Now on the stick of Berthelot. He feeds it back. It's Patrick who fires. Fanned on the first shot. And look out. This could be a breakaway opportunity. It's the catch. Shoots, and good save by Meyer right from the slot area. Good chance by the Golden Bears. 7:12 remaining in the first period.
What a huge effort there by Rhett Reinhart, working hard to get back. You can see he had about 4 or 5 steps on Petruik into the offensive zone. He's able to go all the way back and force that player, Gleb Tkach, to hold up. Now, one thing, the thing I'll poke a hole in there is Chance Petruik. He did all that work to skate back, and then he took the rest of the shift off. You got to stay hard on, guys, and if someone's going to cut to the middle, you got to think Scott Stevens on him, and he'll never do it again.
Hall to take the face off. Up against Dawson. Holt wins it back. There's a shot from Gustafsson, and that one's tipped. Didn't make it to the net. Gustafsson again. The point, the former Blade shoots, and that one goes wide. Pillar going after it. Logan Barrows now trying to get out for the Huskies. There's Hall. Centering pass again. Meyer stopped that one. A point-blank shot. Now it's fed right back behind the net to Saunderson. He takes a bump. A few people throwing their weight around now, and Josh Pillar with some speed has it on the near wing with Gustafson. A couple of former Blades fighting for the puck there. This one's flipped up high, and it comes to the glove of Kinneberg, who just immediately slaps it down. Another big hit there on Connor Roulette. Pillar lost control of it for just a second. Now has to fire it back as the Golden Bears get a few fresh legs on the ice. Now there's Kinneberg out there with Landon Kozer. Gets it up to Roulette. Tries to move it around Davidson. Boy, some nice stick handling by Connor Roulette. Good job there, and he managed to hold on the puck. There's a shot, and Kruger makes the save off the stick of Ethan Renier. Nice stick handling by Connor Roulette. They eventually found a lane with Renier, but he couldn't get it past Kruger.
And that was almost in the same shift, a perfect example where the Huskies forward doesn't get checked. Every other Husky player was checked. The Bears were finishing their checks, and they were forcing turnovers or at least bad plays. And on that one, Davidson just gets spun into the ice and made to look a little foolish. So there for the kids at home, keep your eyes on the chest, on the crest. Don't watch that puck if you're a defender.
There's Renier out there with Penner. Centering pass to Hayes, and that one just went wide. Now fired back down in by Reinhart. Renier gets tied up. Cole Jordan manages to keep it in. Here's Cade Hayes once again, and the puck came off his stick. Now back the other way come the Golden Bears. 3-on-2 with some numbers. Here's Potchwich, shoots, and the rebound is gobbled up. Now it's Hayes moving back the other way again for the Huskies as they try to transition quickly. He's knocked off the puck. It goes right back to Cole Jordan. Now a centering pass, nobody home. It goes through the crease, and the Golden Bears are going to clear. Reinhart back to Jordan, tips it, nobody there. Now retrieved by Carter Stebbings. Both sides getting some fresh blood out onto the ice as Jordan gets it, cross ice pass over to Gunnar Kinneberg. Up to Liam Keeler. Keeler moving through, drops it back. There's a chance, save there by Kruger. Tkachuk going after it. Now Keeler in a battle for the puck on the near side. He takes a bump, fed down over to Tkachuk. Now back to Keeler again. Stebbing sets up in front of the net. Bouncing puck goes past the crease. And Golden Bears, can they get it out? No, not quite. The Huskies managed to keep it in, but look out, they're on a line change, so Alberta's going to get a chance to clear. Down the ice it goes, icing the call, and we'll get a face-off in the Alberta zone. 4:39 to go here in this first period. As the man on your screen right there, Ben Saunderson from Carberry, Manitoba, former Saskatoon Blade, still doesn't have a goal this season. He's hoping for one tonight, and the Huskies hoping to light the lamp for their first one this evening still.
And a great shift there from Jarrett Penner. He laid a real nice hit on Gleb Tkach right over by the Bears bench, and it just took the wind out of his sails, and he was headed off right away. I think a few more Huskies would do a lot of service to their teammates if they got a little more physical in that offensive zone. What I really love is how everybody, forwards and defense for the Huskies, are holding that offensive blue line. We've seen 3 or 4 or 5 already that looked like it was going to make it out of the zone, and the Huskies managed to hold it in and get some sustained pressure.
Huskies and Golden Bears last met January 24th and 25th of 2025, almost a year ago to this day. Huskies won both of those games, 4-1 and 4-3. Right now a different start here as Alberta leads 1-0, courtesy of a goal of Tyson LaVenture. Now back to the point. Here's Barros with it. Off a feed. And that one goes off a body and up into the stands. So we'll get another face-off in the Alberta zone. The last time Alberta defeated Saskatchewan, November 22nd, it was a 4-2 win. The only goal scorer remaining from that game on either roster is Chance Petruic, the only goal scorer from that game. The last time Alberta defeated Saskatchewan. Now another chance for the Golden Bears as Stacker moves through, and Nolan Meyer was taking no chances there with a couple of Alberta players making a beeline for the net.
So I don't know if they'll consider that one a shot on net. It did go off a Bear stick, and Meyer, it would have gone in if Meyer had not stopped it. But I just took a little peek over to the booth to the right of us, who's got their sort of shot totals going, and what they have is 9-3 in favor of the Bears. And if you're the Huskies and you've only got 3 shots in about 15 minutes and change, you're going to probably get a bit of a kick in the butt when you head into the dressing room here in 4 minutes' time.
Golden Bears win the face-off. Back to the point. Over to Davidson. Back down low to Hall. Yakimchuk fires it back, look back the other way, and the Huskies come through. It's a 3-on-1. There's a shot, and good save by Kruger, and no rebound available. Best chance of the game so far for the Huskies as Hall fires it up ice. Reinhart going after it. He bumps Hall off of it. Now the other Hall getting in there. And Cade Hayes is going to swing it up towards Cole Jordan. He's got Jared Penner behind him. The Huskies on a line change here. Less than 4 minutes remaining in this first period. A 1-0 lead for the Alberta Golden Bears, courtesy of a goal from Tyson LaVenture early in this first period. A power play marker. Saskatchewan 0 for 1 on the power play so far. Here's Thacker trying to feed it in front and couldn't quite get it to Boyko, who is waiting for the pass. Now it's Josh Pillar out there with Holt. Trying to stick handle through some traffic. Now Roulette gets it back down low. Here's Holt again, shoots, and that one just missed. Opposite side now. Pillar gets it back down into the corner. You sense the Huskies trying to press here. Good stick handling by Connor Roulette. Wow, avoiding 2 Alberta defenders. Now spins around, feeds it in front. Good save by Kruger. He's lost his stick. Now goes over to pick it up. Back to Connor Roulette once again. Goes for a skate. Has a couple of options. Dumps it off to Kozer. Gets it back down right in front of the net to Pillar, but not ready to redirect it home. Now here's Pillar. Gets it back over to Kinneberg. Back down low, it's Keeler. Kinneberg, cross ice pass over to Kozer. Tried to feed it into the slot area again. That one's tipped up high. And another penalty coming up against Alberta as the Huskies are going to go to the power play again.
So the holding call on that one is going to go against DeWitt. Kind of milling about in front of the Bears bench, and actually Peterson went and showed the referee something. He went down about 15-30 seconds ago in the Huskies corner right against the glass here, and he was slow to get off, didn't have his stick, and I thought maybe, you know, a shoulder type of an issue where you're kind of holding your elbow in close to your body, but the referees had just a little quick continuation of their chat. I don't know what the gripe is about. I do maybe see a little bit of Kool-Aid on the ice, and so maybe that's what they were hoping for, is a double minor for drawing blood.
They're still chatting.
Yeah, it was a harmless enough check. It wasn't as though it was sort of a high stick or a hand to the face. I think Peterson might have bopped himself on the glass as he went into the boards.
Matt Young, John Flatters, the rest of our crew here on TELUS Optic TV, CBC Gem, and of course Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. So the Huskies go on the power play again, second time here in the first period, 0 for 1 so far, and look out. Boy, Meyer has to be careful as it's almost turned over right in front of him, short-handed. Now Dawson Holt over to Chance Petruic, backhands it to Keeler. With Kozer out there, and Holt chasing after it. Huskies start to move in and set up. 1:35 to go in the man advantage. Cross-ice pass, Petruic off the one-timer, and good save by Kruger. He puts up a curtain and will get another face-off.
And for as much time as Petruic had out there, Kruger knew he was going to go for that shot right off the hop, and Kruger telescoped his way out to at least where his toes were. Yeah, you can see there, almost his heels were on that blue crease line, so he definitely made his way out to try and cut off the angle on that shot from Petruic, but a nice job to get it on net.
So Dawson Holt will line up again to take the face-off, gets it back to Kozer. Dumps it off over to Petruic, back to Kozer. Huskies being patient. Now it's Petruic again on the far side, getting over to Roulette. Feeds it in front, and that one goes over a stick. Back to the point, it's Kozer once again. Shoots, and that one goes wide of the net. Here's Roulette with it on the near side. Back down low to Keeler. Over to Kozer. Dumps it back off to Roulette. Careful, lost control of it, and the Golden Bears clear. Huskies will have to reset with a minute to play in the power play. A minute 20 left here in the first period. Some fresh legs out there for Saskatchewan as Rhett Reinhardt moves through. Dumps it off to Stebbings. He gets it back over to Josh Pillar. Now Stebbings once again. Feeds it back. Here's Rhett Reinhardt. Over to Pelche. Now back to Reinhardt at the point looking for some space. Shoots. That one's blocked. It's back to Berthelot. Josh Berthelot back down to Stebbings. Berthelot being patient. Cross ice pass. Now back to Reinhardt. One-timer scores! Saskatchewan evens it up at one apiece. Rhett Reinhardt blasts one from the point, and the Huskies have tied it up.
And would you believe Rhett Reinhardt is 5th on the team in points, and that's going to do favors for Rhett Reinhardt. I'm a big fan of the season he's been having this year. I always knew he was got that tough, that sort of sandpaper to his game, but he's really shown off his smarts, his hockey knowledge, his hockey sense, and his ability to just release a nice one-time clapper from up at the point. And boy, that was a timely tying goal right near the end of the period.
A much-needed goal from Rhett Reinhardt, and we are even here in the first period as Saskatchewan ties it up. His 4th of the season for the Huskies. The 6'4" man from Lloydminster. And we got a good one going here between the Golden Bears and Saskatchewan. Two teams, as we mentioned right off the top, who could meet in the playoffs. This one's tipped off the boards and down the ice with only 5 seconds to go in the first period. Other games going on in Canada West. Mount Royal taking on Regina, Manitoba taking on McEwen, and Trinity Western facing off against UBC as we get another look at it. The Reinhardt goal, a nice one-timer from the point, and that one sniped right past everybody.
And that's like 60% of what Reinhardt's got. Like, all he was doing was focusing on getting it to the net and getting it on net, and boy, does it fill that net.
So after 20 minutes of play, a 1-1 tie between the Huskies and the Alberta Golden Bears, as Ben Saunderson comes out to shake hands with Nolan Meyer, who also made a couple of key stops for the Huskies. Both teams getting a couple of good chances as we look at some first period highlights. And I think if you're Alberta or Saskatchewan, so far you're feeling okay, but 5-on-5 been a little bit tougher than on the power play.
Yeah, I think the Alberta Golden Bears have the edge in the physical play, in terms of their sort of fight, in terms of their will to start the game. The opening 10 minutes belong to them without question. But the Huskies held, they weathered that storm, and of course, yeah, you're going to get the benefit of the power play and a little bit of extra time and space with that puck. But I do see that the energy has been injected into the legs of these Huskies. It'll be a real interesting second period.
We're tied at 1 here at Merlis Belsher Place, here on TELUS Optic TV, CBC Gem, and Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. We'll be back with second period action in just a few moments. Don't go away.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big step. Get the more straight to the
Girls ice hockey weekend night at the Huskies. So, Katrin, why is an event like this so important?
It's so important for women and girls to see themselves represented in sport. So coming to events like this, seeing women playing hockey at a really high level for young girls to see, to look and say, hey, that could be me. I'm hoping that they take away that girls belong in sport, that this is a place for them, that hockey is a place for them, that it's a place to compete, that it's also fun. It's a place where you can build community and make friends and play sport.
offensive skill there from Alexin to take away from the goal. Not at all, but we do have a second guest here in the booth. Goaltender Emma back. And Emma, what's it like seeing your teammates here putting on a show for girls ice hockey night?
I love it. It's good to see us up scoring, showing off to these little girls that they can do it too.
How important do you think events like tonight, girls ice hockey night, bringing in all these minor hockey players, what would this have meant to you as a young girl?
It would mean the world for me if I was younger, so I'm glad that we can make it happen for them.
We do what we do because we love it. There's no way around that. We get up every morning, going out to the barn, knowing that we do this because it's a passion. I can't really describe it any other way.
We're making our way to Regina, Saskatchewan for the 60th edition of the Vanier Cup, the national championship for youth sports football.
Fast and free, one play at a time, play Husky football. Trust your teammate, trust yourself. You're prepared for this moment. Hell yeah! The greatest gift that ever is, was, or will be. So proud of you guys, Seth, you got it. Who are we not? Who are we not? Who are we not? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
And we're underway in the 60th Vanier Cup. Merrill throwing deep. Peachton is open. He's got it at the 40. Liam Peachton with a spin move and taken down by Gauthier across the 30. Wants to throw. Now he'll run. And he'll be short of the first down. Gain of 11 needed 15. Hand off to Frank. Crunching off tackle. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. Riker Frank bulldozing his way into the end zone. The Huskies football team taste defeat in the championship game.
We fought, we didn't quit, we just kept playing. So proud of them, I really am.
I'm really grateful for how many games I got to play with this group. I wouldn't change anything for the world, man. I love these boys. I'm super happy that we fought to the bitter end.
Yeah, we'll get back in 2026.
For 65 years, we've sown the seeds of Saskatchewan's innovative nature. We have supported farmers here at home and around the world and helped feed the future together. Today, Nutrien is the province's largest private sector employer and the largest producer of potash in the world. Join us as we celebrate 65 years of potash production, as well as the hard work and dedication of the people of Saskatchewan. From Saskatchewan to the world for 65 years.
Just how do I move it a little bit? This way?
Numbers, yes! Yes! Arrive! Oh.
Just put it back into the box.
Yes, you're on! One guy, get there! Yes! That's the way! Yeah!
We gotta keep going.
2. Yes.
I think a light bulb has gone on Maddie. I think so.
Maddie! Here, with Cass.
Except he's...
Turn, we call that manifesting.
They did.
Did you hear a boo? I was like, Maddie, come over here.
Good job.
Not a big deal, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
You just called the shot.
Okay, team. Listen up. We're in the lead, but the game's not done. The best way to defend is score another one, and they'll continue to just drop our level. Next 5 to 10 minutes are critical. Okay, they might have a little bit of the wind, keep the ball on the ground, and we attack together, we defend together. Really good. We need another 45 minutes, girls. This is the last 45 minutes of this weekend. Okay, come on, let's go. Let's elevate. Come on, Green, let's go. We're going for G, okay? Again, we have to defend the transitions because as soon as they're winning it, they're just playing long. Yeah. Okay, so protect space, you and Anna, okay? One time, Green, keep going. Live in their half. Nami, Sophia, we gotta possess over in their half in the corners, okay? And then in transition, help.
Let's go with it.
Yeah!
Huskies win!
If it's a night out in the town, it's easy to enjoy the endless possibilities of pork at your favorite restaurant. Or exploring the wide variety of choices at your local grocery store to create your own dish for your friends and family. Explore the possibilities of Saskatchewan pork and the flavor it brings to each and every meal. Thanks to Saskatchewan's community of pork producers.
With the growth of the game, that's what we want for women's hockey, and little boys can look up and say, you know, I want to play in the NHL, and now it's really nice to see that young girls can say the same thing about the PWHL and make a career out of it. My name is Sarah Kendall. I play for the Husky women's hockey team. When I was younger, I didn't have the opportunity to get new gear every year, and coming to Huskies was the first time I actually got brand new equipment, and it's pretty special. I come from a smaller town, and I remember looking up to the AAA girls and being like, wow, you guys are so awesome. I want to be like that. And now that I'm in a role like that, it's very special. I actually chose this career based on some of my experiences that I had coaching younger girls. They kind of opened my eye up to how much I liked working with kids, and yeah, I decided to go into education, and I love it. I think that when you do something, you should give it your all. If I'm going to be a teacher, I want to be able to lead by example, and that's kind of the way I play on the ice. I do my best day in and day out, and hopefully other people can look up to that.
When I was younger, I came to watch the Husky games, and I watched the Huskies play with my teams. I was even one of the ball rollers on the side of the court. I just remember watching those players and being like, I want to be like that someday. To feel like I am one of those women now, and I don't take that role lightly. Like, I'm very passionate about inspiring the next generation, inspiring youth and young women to pursue their sport and pursue the best version of themselves out there. My name is Taryn Hanna. I'm a third year and I play for the Husky women's volleyball team. The life of a student athlete is so incredibly demanding, and it takes so much dedication and discipline to be able to go to university and get good grades and also perform. And so having that funding is just such a relief to know that financially it's helping and every dollar matters. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with my life yet, but all of the connections that I've built through volleyball and all of the interpersonal skills that I've built playing on teams throughout my entire life have been so beneficial. Sport has made me a leader and has made me very confident in who I am, because to go out and play a sport and be yourself on the court, you need to know who you are. I don't think I would be this person today without sport and all my experiences within sport.
Welcome to Synergy Credit Union, your trusted financial partner right here in Saskatoon. From savings accounts and home loans to supporting local businesses and investing in our youth, we're here for you every step of the way. Plus, with convenient digital banking and a local member contact center, managing your finances is easier than ever. Come visit us. We're here to help.
I don't know, because I talk too much probably. Hey, Preef, what's your, like, any controversial opinions or anything? Who do you vote for? Never let go, never let go. Yeah. I hit the net. Nimrod. Oh, I could have done that with one hand. Preef, that was through your wickets. Yeah. You're actually so stupid. Hey, my ear! Steph was hitting me there. It felt like a little mosquito bug was just buzzing around. I already got one from this little crunch. Knock it in. Tonight we skate with them. We shut them down because we can. All right. Yeah!
Drink Biosteer, the right fuel.
Welcome back to Merlis Belsher Place. We are tied at 1 apiece. The Saskatchewan Huskies taking on the Alberta Golden Bears, live here on TELUS Optic TV, CBC Gem, and Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. Matt Young and John Flatters ready to take you the rest of the way. We're through 20 minutes here, John, and you are right. Alberta looked a bit more physical than the Huskies. Huskies trying to assert their speed and skill with guys like Connor Roulette, Rhett Reinhardt getting the goal for Saskatchewan, Tyson LaVenture getting the goal for Alberta. Shots pretty even, 9-8 unofficially so far in favor of the Bears. What do you think was said in that locker room?
Well, you know, I did mention it, or about maybe the 4 minutes to go mark. I said the Huskies only have 3 shots, and they're going to get a bit of a kick in the butt. They finished with 8, so they had a good finish to that period. I still think their coach is going to be giving them a little bit of a hard time, Brandon Cote, just saying, hey, you know and we know that we've got more to offer than 3 or 4 shots to go through 20 minutes of play. They did pick it up. They did pick up a goal on the power play. And interesting to note, the Huskies and the Bears, very aggressive, and it really hasn't been a lot in terms of going straight to the net. It's that sort of skip a pass or going all the way or kind of skipping around the horn that gets the one-timer on both of the goals. So you're going to have to really come up with some creative tactics to beat these 2 goalies in Meyer and Kruger.
As you mentioned, Golden Bears 2-6 in their last 8 games. They've struggled. Saskatchewan 5-1 in their last 6 games coming into this one. Saskatchewan so far this season has 5 games that have gone into overtime, 2 in a shootout, 3-2 record when tied after regulation. Lifetime head-to-head, Alberta leads 382 wins, 179 losses, and 18 ties. So Alberta has the head-to-head matchup lifetime. In case you want to dig way, way, way back, we did all the digging for you.
Let's be honest, you did the digging.
I did the digging. Well, there we go.
Well, speaking of digging, I did look and there's a late addition here from the Bears coming off of the dressing room.
Yeah, they have everybody out there except...
And it was that Laventure, the goal scorer.
Laventure, who's coming out onto the ice. He literally just came through the tunnel.
So he's got to put his neck guard on, do his chin strap up. And I'm wondering if that's what he forgot in the dressing room and had to go back and get.
And that would be a penalty, I believe.
Well, and now I'm wondering, he got his chin strap undone still.
Here's Tkachuk with it for Saskatchewan. Stebbings on the far side. Here's Keeler with a one-timer. That one just missed the net. Now Kosher going after it. Goes back behind the net. Now Tkachuk over to Carter Stebbings. Stebbings being bothered a bit. Now it's Liam Keeler that grabs a hold of the puck, looking for a lane. Back down to Tkachuk. That didn't work. It's shoveled back the other way. 4 players going after it. Now it's Keeler who comes on the puck. Backhand pass to Stebbings. That one hit a stick. Now crosswise pass over to Kozer from the point. Now back to Kozer again. Shoots on net. Rebound is there. Given up. Keeler grabs a hold of it. Huskies can't redirect it towards the net. And now it's another shot, and that one saved by Kruger. Coming off the stick there of Gunnar Kinnerberg. We'll get a face-off to the right of Kruger here, just less than a minute to go or 2 into this second period.
And great work from Liam Keeler, fighting through 2 guys to win the race to the loose puck and get it across to his teammate. That's the kind of stuff you have to do. As soon as you see the shot get directed toward the net, then it becomes a race. Who wants it more and who's going to battle the hardest to get to that loose puck? Liam Keeler did there, held it in for a little longer.
Liam Keeler, Dawson Holt, Chance Petruic, and Raphael Pelche all scored the last time the Huskies faced Alberta on January 24th of last year. Puck goes past Pelche, look out, turned over, and now it's going to be Tkachuk up there with Thacker. Still got the puck from the slot, fires that one just wide. Gustafsson has it now. Back to Thacker along the point. Now back to Gustafsson. Look out. Cross ice pass. Now back to the point. With it now is Lamina towards the net and bouncing puck. It looks like, I thought the whistle blew for just a moment. Maybe not. Now it's Gustafsson again along the point. Fires it back down low to Lamina. Lamina gets tripped up. A couple of Huskies there bothering him. Now swings around behind the net. Gets it back over to DeWitt. He turns it over, and now Berthlett's going to come back the other way for Saskatchewan. Up to Chance Petruic. Backhands it off the boards. There's Berthlet. Huskies get some fresh legs out there. Josh Pillar, Ben Saunderson, Logan Barros with it now for some space. Fires it towards the net. There's a chance for Petruic, and he can't hit the back of the net. What a shot by Chance Petruic. He almost had his 17th of the season. Look out. But couldn't hit the back of the twine. Now it's Melnick trying to get it towards the Huskies net. Lamanna fires cross-ice pass, and that one hits the stick. Now back to DeWitt again, fires it on the Husky net. Alberta trying to reassert control. Here's Melnick from the slot area. Petruic got his stick on that one, and Petruic along with Holt coming back the other way. Now it's Josh Pillar shoots that one just high above the crossbar. Holt gets it back to Kosher, who can't hold the line. He's got to skate back as both the Huskies and Golden Bears get some fresh legs out there. Now Dawson Holt with Roulette, and they're going to call him offside. He had a beeline to the net, but they'll have to redo it. 17-13 to go here in this second period.
And interestingly, coming off the ice after that shift, it was a great shift from Liam Keeler. There's the Chance Petruic, and he's obviously got a knack for finding the net. He's got 16 goals on the season, leads Canada West, but just overall tonight, I've seen him go off the ice a number of times, that last time included, just really frustrated, like he's been snake bit. When you've got 16 goals, you are not snake bit. So I think he's got to give himself a little bit of extra credit and just remember that he's got 16 and they're going to come.
Yeah, a little bit more confidence maybe in yourself, you would say. And you know, Chance Petruic, who's been fantastic so far this season for the Huskies, the team's leading scorer. There's a shot as Meyer grabs it. Now Kozer behind the net with two Golden Bears right there, both of the Halls. Connor Roulette spins around, gets it up to Ethan Renier. Couldn't quite split the defense as he goes down. Now it's Gustafson going to try and swing it the other way. Cole Jordan grabs the puck for the Huskies. Over to Renier. There's Roulette. Fires, scores! Connor Roulette, his 12th goal of the season, and the Huskies have the lead.
Well, go Connor Roulette, but let's give credit to Ethan Renier, who takes a slap in the face from a stick. He doesn't go down, he doesn't go off the ice, he stays on and makes a perfect hockey sense pass to his buddy Connor Roulette, who makes no mistake and gives the fans here, the very many fans in the building tonight, a little extra pizzazz on that celebration.
Connor Roulette came into this game tied for 7th in the Canada West Conference in goals this season, and the Huskies now have the lead. It's 2-1 for the home side. As it's celebrations on the bench for Saskatchewan right now. Down 1-0 early in the first period, have now rattled off 2 straight goals, and it's the Golden Bears that find themselves on the ropes right now. Connor Roulette. Now here's Cade Hayes moving through, firing towards the net as Kruger makes the save there. And Ben Saunderson, it's Jarrett Penner exchanging some words there with Blake Gustafson.
I really like every time after a goal when you can go to a line with Penner on it and just get right back to the thing that makes you great. I love seeing that, and I love seeing Penner recognize his role and understand it's all about going forward. It's not about dragging backwards or saving ice. It's about attack, and I love that out of the Huskies, and I love that out of the coaching staff in Brandon Cote, recognizing the talent that Penner has.
What's nice about that goal, there's another shot, they score right off the face-off. Saskatchewan adds another one, and it's 3-1 for the home side. Carter Stebbings lights the lamp.
Well, Carter Stebbings didn't blink. I blinked and missed it, but that's going to give him 9 goals on the season himself.
What a goal right off the face-off, and they say don't blink, you'll miss it. Right off the draw, Stebbings fires the puck past Kruger, and it's a 3-1 Husky lead.
Kind of a tough break for Kruger there. It was a bouncing puck, so I guess I'm going to say Stebbings didn't exactly know where he was putting that, but he had the right idea, get it toward the net, and something might happen, and it was bouncing just right.
The former Swift Current Bronco puts the red light on for Saskatchewan. And things have really turned on a dime in this second period, at least in the first 5 minutes. Of the Huskies have asserted total dominance, especially for the last few minutes, as Ben Tkachuk goes to take the face-off for Saskatchewan, wins it back. Keeler puts it right on net. That one just missed. Now here's Ben Saunderson getting it back to Stebbings, the goal scorer. Huskies looking for more. Here's Tkachuk back to Keeler. That one was just a bit too far. And the roadside will take it out, courtesy of Popowich, who gets past a couple of defenders and manages to swing it back into the Husky zone, but Saskatchewan comes flying out right away as Tkachuk and company move through. There's Keeler again on the far side, shoots. That one's tipped up into the glass. 13-12 the shots. The Alberta Golden Bears lead right now, but it's the Huskies with all the momentum.
Boy, and just this second period has been all Huskies, really, from the start until this face-off ready. It's been all Huskies, and you can see a little frustration there on the face of Kruger. And it was funny to see Stebbings' ear-to-ear grin up at the face-off there. Sometimes hockey's fun.
There's Petruik up near the point, skates around with Jolly right behind him, finding some space, feeds it in front, it gets through everybody. Now Berthlett's got it, back to the slot area. Nobody home as Jolly grabs it for the Golden Bears. Lamanna trying to chase after it. What I was going to say about the Connor Roulette goal is how patient he was, almost to wait for the goaltender Kruger to dive. It's like it was almost in slow motion, kind of. Here's Petruik again, using the body, getting it up to Peltier. They're going to call him offside there. 27 of it too far.
Might not show on the screen, but not too often you see an athletic supporter falling out of someone's equipment on the Golden Bears bench. They're going to have to reattach that. You see a lot of neck guards falling off these days, that's for sure, and I have my thoughts about that, but not too often you see a can on the ice.
There's Gustafson off the faceoff, getting up to LaVenture. With Hall, LaVenture puts it on net, goes just wide. Now it's Berthlet trying to grab it. Gustafson wins that battle. Hall and LaVenture still going after the puck. Now comes on the stick of Rhett Reinhardt, and then over to Landon Kosier. Long pass for Peltier. That one goes over his stick. Clearing attempt doesn't work, and now Peltier and Berthlet come back through along with Reinhardt. He's knocked off the puck. Good thing he was, because he would have had a nice shot. Now here's Gustafson out there with LaVenture. Back to McGregor, shoots that one just wide. Rebound is there, they score! And just like that, the Alberta Golden Bears pull back to within one.
Well, we've got ourselves a hockey game now. Back and forth, and is that LaVenture's second goal of the game?
Number 15 strikes again. And now it's a 3-2 lead for Saskatchewan.
This shot Meyer had no idea on, and he was trying to locate it as it made its way behind the goal line there. So that little flub shot was enough to fool him because he hadn't located the puck yet off of the boards. Unfortunate for Meyer, and he'll give himself a quick little head shake and get right back into it.
Now Dawson Holt, lead pass for Connor Roulette. From his knees, he fires it. The puck just goes past the net. Boy, number 14 is having a good game out there. Good stick handling. Always looking for a place to find the puck. Now he touches it, and this one is coming back, it looks like, on an offside.
And I think they'll take it back all the way because Roulette should have known that he couldn't touch that one. And you just get a look there, and I don't think there was a stick that took him down from a Bears player. I think Roulette was just a little too eager to get a step on his defender and just sort of toe pick there. Good effort right off another faceoff, though.
Now Josh Pillar trying to move through for Saskatchewan over to Roulette. It's tipped up near the goal crease. Pillar fires it back down behind the net. Now who's Roulette again? Over to Logan Barros with Pillar. Cross ice pass. There's a shot. That one goes wide. Going after it there is Holt. Now Roulette. Back to Pillar again. Smooth skating near the corner. In a battle there with Thacker. And Thacker wins the battle, but the puck goes right to the stick of Connor Roulette. He's still got it. 3 Alberta players trying to grab hold of it. Look at Roulette still trying to hang on. Now Pillar goes towards the corner to chase it. Now it's Belcourt. He takes a stick up near the head area. No arm goes up. And Thacker swings it up outside the line for the Golden Bears. Now it's Connor Roulette over to Holt, scores! Dawson Holt is 10th of the season off a nice feed, and Saskatchewan adds another one. They've doubled up their lead, and it's a 4-2 lead for the home side.
Well, and give credit to the Bears, because I think Belcourt got that stick up into the face area, and he was a little shaken up here. He was slow to get to that check on Roulette, and you can see him just still a little bit worse for wear. But that's going to bring Dawson Holt even higher. He's 11th in Canada West in points. That's going to bring him up maybe a spot or two. Boy, is this second period a real entertaining game of hockey.
A 4-2 lead for Saskatchewan. The former Vancouver Giant Dawson Holt lights the lamp with 12:45 to go here in this second period. And
they can't find the puck. It's buried under there.
Well, and it looks like Kruger is trying to fish it out. Now, they got these like white pads at the bottom. Sometimes the puck gets stuck there. So Ethan Renier to take the face-off for Saskatchewan up against Popowich for the Golden Bears. Saskatchewan's done well in the face-off draw so far tonight. So Dawson Holt puts Saskatchewan up by 2. As Akimchuk tries to grab it for Alberta. Boy, Dawson Holt played a huge role in Saskatchewan's Canada West playoff success last year against UBC and against Mount Royal. And he is like lightning. Boy, Dawson Holt can kind of sneak out of nowhere sometimes, I find, and all of a sudden just be in a place where the goalie doesn't want him.
And that's just one of those plays. It's very, very simple hockey. You're going to drive the net with your stick on the ice, and you don't need to make a fancy play. All you're doing is redirecting that thing toward the net. Really difficult to stop because there's no wind up and there's no telegraphing of where it's going to go. So for a guy like Kruger, all he's got to do is try and slide across in time. It's a tough task.
Here's McGregor firing it up over to Melnick. He's got Tkachuk right on him. Saskatchewan brimming with confidence right now as Tkachuk goes to grab this puck down in the corner. And it's Carter Stebbings, has a goal already so far tonight. Liam Keeler going after it. Barrows chips it back in. It bounces up in the air. And Keeler can't hold the line, so Huskies will have to regroup. Here's Rhett Reinhardt. Long pass. Huskies have a chance. 2-on-0. Keeler to Stebbings. Scores! His second of the hockey game. Carter Stebbings, and the Huskies have their biggest lead of the contest. It's 5-2 Saskatchewan.
Very, very big swing in momentum here as the Bears were trying to keep up with this offensive, I want to say outpouring, but that's almost too little. It's like an onslaught from this Huskies team. Great lead pass, gets a 2-on-0 breakaway here, and no mistake, Stebbings just in the right spot at the right time to make himself a very big target right about 4 feet from the goal line. Good finish, and the Huskies seem to be gaining control of this game in the second period.
Yeah, the floodgates have opened here. 4 goals in less than 9 minutes to start this second period. They're now up 5-2, and Berthollet looking for a little bit more. Chase Berthollet spinning around, getting it back to Barrows. He shoots, and Kruger saves that one. And if you're the Golden Bears, John, at what point do you maybe look at a goaltending change?
Well, I was thinking along those lines, and not because Kruger is playing poorly, but sometimes a change of goalie, it just shocks everybody on the bench, everybody on the ice, and it forces them to kind of take stock of their game, and they'll go, okay, you know what? No, I haven't been good enough. And with our new goalie coming in, it's going to give them a little bit of a change of pace. I don't know if I would have done that, though, because Kruger's been playing pretty good hockey, and in the first 10 minutes of the first, the Huskies were on their heels.
Well, part of the problem for the Golden Bears is when you start giving up 2-on-0s, hard to blame the goaltender entirely. Here's Barrows moving through with Bertholet, puts it on net. Rebound was almost there for Pelche. Now another shot, that one's blocked, and Barrows has to skate down the ice to retrieve the puck. Ironically, the shots right now, 14-14 even unofficially, but it's the Huskies with a 3-goal lead. Barrows swinging it back. Puck intercepted in the neutral zone. And it's calmly tipped in by Pacheco. Long pass for Bertholet. That one's tipped up high. It's Davidson that grabs it. Now down in the corner with Petruik. Here's Bertholet, centering pass to Pillar, fires, good save by Kruger. A point-blank attempt from Josh Pillar, and Kruger shut the door. Now an icing call as Kosher was there near the puck, and Saskatchewan continues to set up some glorious chances in this one.
And I was just taking a look as the play went up the ice there, and as just the Bears bench was almost like a freeze frame. It was like nobody was breathing, nobody was moving. They really seem to be reeling here, and I think someone on that bench has got to get a little bit of energy going for the Bears, whereas the Huskies, at least they're all sitting down, but they look a little more focused, a little more engaged in this period, whereas the Bears are a little bit shell-shocked.
Here's Holt battling with Hall. It's Hall who wins that battle and gets it back up to the other Hall. He fires it down as Meyer comes up to tip the puck. Centering pass goes nowhere, and now it's going to be up to Connor Roulette to try and move it through for Saskatchewan. Gets up ice. Now Roulette to the net. Centering pass. Puck bouncing around. It's cleared away from the crease. Now Pillar tries to swipe it in front again. They shoot another chance. A point-blank shot, and that one saved by Kruger. Saskatchewan all over the Golden Bears here. It's Kosher. Back down into the corner, over to Holt, back to Pillar, cross-ice pass, there's a shot, what a save by Kruger off the stick of Connor Roulette. How did he keep that one out? Roulette almost had another one for Saskatchewan. Now Laventure tries to move the puck up ice, who scored the opening goal for Alberta. Remember, it was a 1-0 lead for the roadside before the onslaught began from Saskatchewan. Now to Catch. Grabs it on the near side. There's Popowich fighting for the puck for Saskatchewan. It comes back to the point. It's DeWitt, puts it on net. That one goes wide. Now it's Renier going to try and clear. Can they do it? Runs into too many Alberta sticks. Now Belcourt feeds it towards the net. Here's DeWitt, shoots, and Myers got that one. He saw it all the way and flashed the leather. And we'll get a face-off to the right of him with 8:39 to go here in the second.
And that really, the first time that the Bears able to hold the line and sustain some pressure, and then as the puck goes all the way back to the blue line, you could see that Meyer had committed to that net side, but he has all the space and all the visibility in the world to telescope out and find that point shot. Meyer's been good after that first sort of flub that I don't think he really was at fault for. Again, it was that cross-crease play, but I think Meyer's really been stepping it up here, and I think Kruger needs a little help from his teammates, most of all his defenders, as there's been a lot of Husky players driving in there sort of unchecked and not a stick on them. So if you're the Bears, I think you want to get a stick engaged on these Husky players, and it's a hard task to do because they are moving fast right now.
Yeah, you have to wonder what's being said on the Alberta side, and then on the other side is look at the media timeout. Saskatchewan Huskies, Brandon Cote probably saying, hey, let's just keep calm and carry on.
Yeah, and maybe, again, not to get too cute. I know that obviously there's a very, very highly skilled offense from the Huskies, but sometimes you get a little bit too full of yourself.
Complacency.
Yes, exactly. And you start thinking, well, I can make the extra toe drag, or I want to make this play on my backhand instead of turning my body and making a good crisp pass on my forehand. But like you say, complacency is the devil right now for the Huskies.
So they'll take the face off. It's Renier that wins it back. Shot right off, and that one was saved by Meyer. Now a bouncing puck right in front of the crease. Look out. Golden Bears with a good chance, but they can't quite get a stick on it. Now it's Reinhardt getting it up to Hayes, still bouncing around too close to the net for the comfort of the Huskies. Now it's Thacker with it. Gets it back to the point. Dawson Davidson. Davidson Rink-wide pass, back over to Thacker, shoots, rebound, Popowich can't get a hold of it, and Jordan swings it the other way, turns it over, Boyer shoots from a sharp angle, but can't find the back of the net. There's Hayes, finally gets it out for Saskatchewan. Bit of a flurry of pressure from Alberta now. It's Rhett Reinhardt who's going to dump it in for the home side. One-on-one with Davidson, gets past him. Now the back pass to Davidson goes a bit too far. And it's turned back over to him because Penner couldn't hang on to it. Now a big hit at center ice as Stebbings just laid out Melnick. Now Reinhardt getting it up to Stebbings, back over to Renier, avoids one player, now is knocked down. We have a penalty coming up against Alberta. Huskies are going to have another power play. Golden Bears don't like it, but it's going to be another man advantage for the home side.
Yeah, Justin Hall doesn't like this one, but he had the opportunity. He had a little bit of time so that he could not use his stick horizontal. You'll see it here. He's got all the time in the world, and he definitely winds up. And everybody in the rink can see that. If he wants to instill or instigate a little bit of pain, he got to do it a little bit more stealth, a little bit more under the radar, because everybody in the rink could see that one.
So Saskatchewan with another power play. Here's Kozer. They're looking lethal in this second period. Here's chance. Petruik feeds it in front to Keeler, and that one went over his stick. Holt one more time. This time he's almost knocked off the puck. Alberta trying to create a shorthanded opportunity as LaVenture's not going to be putting up with too much. Now back the other way comes Keeler. Huskies trying to set up. Back over to Roulette. Petruik, one-time shot. That one hit his stick. Roulette back down to Keeler again. A fight for the puck, and this time Kruger covers up with 1:31 to go in the power play for Saskatchewan.
And again, I know I'm kind of harping a little too hard, and now I'm paying attention to it, but again, Petruik really just seems uncomfortable in his own skin here. That was an excellent play. He used his head, tries to make the perfect pass right on the tape there to Keeler. I think he's right where he wants to be. He's just got to relax a little bit and continue to let things happen.
Thacker grabs a hold of it for the roadside. Comsley flips it up the boards, and now Alberta moving through, shorthanded, 2-on-2, rebound is gobbled up, and now it's Roulette moving back the other way. He's got Holt, feeds it over to Keeler, good stick there by Davidson. Interrupted what would have been a great chance. Now it's shoveled back down into the Husky zone as Nolan Meyer grabs a hold of it. Both teams getting some fresh legs out on the ice. 6:21 to go here in the second period. It's Josh Pillar moving up ice. Pillar looking for some options, spins around. Berthelot is out there along with Carter Stebbings. Now Berthelot again, back to Stebbings behind the net. To the point, Pelche over to Reinhardt. Now back to Berthelot, Reinhardt again. Berthelot, one-time shot, good save by Kruger with some traffic in front of him. He holds on. 27 seconds to go in the power play now.
Nice job of moving the puck back and forth to side. Good job there by Reinhardt to find right in Berthelot's wheelhouse so that he can rip that one-timer. He had a lot on that, and it looked like he was trying to place it. So that's not easy to do both of those at the same time on a one-timer. Usually it's, I'm going to take a little off it, and I'm going to keep this in the fairway, or I'm going to swing for broke, and anybody who gets in the way, good luck.
Yeah, well, and Kruger had to be sharp that time. So Stebbings to take the face-off for Saskatchewan up against LaVenture, two number 15s, and it shoveled back to no man's land, and look out, Hall coming out to try and grab it for the Golden Bears, but Meyer plays the puck first. Now it's Pelche, back to Stebbings. Back pass over to Josh Pillar. Now Reinhardt over to Berthelot. Patiently down to Stebbings, cross-ice pass to Pillar, and it went through his feet. He was right there to try and tip it home. Now Pelche straddling the blue line. Huskies trying to get some fresh legs out there. Gunnar Kinnerberg on the ice now. Berthelot and Pelche out there. Now a cross-ice pass over to Cole Jordan is intercepted as Hall grabs it for the Golden Bears. Moving through, there's a shot from Hall. He can't quite beat the defender. Now back behind the net. Hall tries a wraparound, and this time the net falls down. Meyer Meyer had to quickly get out of the way. Look out. And I'm not sure what grabbed a hold of it to knock it off.
It is odd that way, where I feel like there should be more weight, but it is. Yeah, it's Cole Jordan, and he's no
his
small
shoulder
body.
got a hold of it, it looks like.
Yeah, he's no small body, and sometimes it is easy to just sort of lean against it or push it back, but I think Meyer, because he was down in that low position, he didn't even have any risk of hitting him in the back of the head. He was so low in his stance.
So Josh Pillar up against Hall to try and win this face-off, and it's a scramble for the puck. Boyko trying to get his stick on it. Now instead it's Raphael Pelche who grabs it, swings it down the ice, and McGregor grabs it for Alberta. Feeds it up to Tkach. Spins around McGregor from the point. There was a good chance for a tip-in, but Boyko didn't get his stick on it. Gustafson trying to hold the line for Alberta. Can't do it as Josh Pillar grabs the puck. He's knocked down. They're going to call this offside with 4:36 to go here in the second period.
And little by little, these Huskies have started to generate the shots that they need in order to take control of this game. They do have the lead, a 2-shot lead, 19-17 unofficially on the scoreboard. And you can really tell when the Huskies are shooting, it's because they're spending time in the offensive zone, and that's usually because they're out forechecking and holding that line. They're doing both of those tonight.
There's Barros with Ethan Renier. Dawson Davidson holds the fort, backhands it back in. Meyer tips it with his stick. Now it's Cade Hayes. Getting it up to Jared Penner. Lost it for a moment. Renier touched it. Now here's Thacker. He's knocked off the puck. As the two teams exchange turnovers in the neutral zone, it comes up to Dawson Davidson. Davidson fires it back behind the net. Goes off the boards. Lamanna couldn't get a hold of it. Now Ben Saunderson back over to Barros. Here's Jared Penner. Has Melnick on him. The two players kind of get their sticks tied up, and look at this. Lamanna with a shot, and that one's saved there by Meyer. He's got it. 3:38 to go in the second period. And it is getting a bit chippy out there in some places.
And guess who? It was Jarrett Penner involved in that one. He made a nice hit, and then he does a great job right at that S logo inside the blue line. He could have taken it before it goes off the boards. He lets it ring off the boards and skates into the play, and then he makes a nice move on his defender. That was a good little individual effort from a guy who's not known for things with the puck.
Here's DeWitt, cross-ice pass, one-timer. That one doesn't work. Huskies grab the puck again. Alberta trying to hold it. There's Stebbings in a bit of a battle. As him and Keeler, along with Melnick, fighting for the puck. Four players on the opposite side. And it squirts loose to Landon Kozer, who's going to fire it up ice. Ethan Renier talked about playing with Jarrett Penner, his line mate. He says Penner is always hard on the puck. So you always kind of got to be aware, because you never know when he's going to be able to feed you a pass or get you a pass in a place where you can put the puck on net. He loves playing with him.
He's a competitor. That's what it is. And sometimes you're never out until it's completely out. If the puck is anywhere within his wheelhouse or a battle isn't anywhere within his reach, he's going to try to win that battle. And a nice, good save there. I think actually it may have been blocked up high, but a good job going across the crease there again by Meyer.
So Pelche to take the face off for Saskatchewan up against Hall. It's Alberta that wins it back. Gustafson puts it on net, and rebound cleared away. Huskies come back the other way with some numbers. 3-on-2. Pelche, can he split the defense? No, he's got Berthelot with him. Turned over immediately, and now the Golden Bears come back. 3-on-2. It's Hall feeding it up to Hall again, and this one a bouncing puck. It finds the back of the net. They score! Alberta gets one back. The Golden Bears claw back to within two.
Now, I don't know if Laventure just likes to lead the way on the rush, but he's the guy leading the way on that one as well on the flyby. Maybe a little bit of questionable.
We'll get another look at it here.
It looked like they thought it was off of a hand, but maybe, if anybody, it was Berthelot's hand. But what I noticed right away off of that offensive zone turnover is that defense for the Bears is going, and he beat his forward on the Huskies back to the Huskies net.
We'll see who they credit the goal to, but you are right, it might have gotten off Bertholet's body there. So Tyson LaVenture gets credited with his second goal of the hockey game. It's now a 5-3 lead for Saskatchewan with 2:24 to go in the second period. And that's just kind of the bounce and the spark that Alberta needed. And sometimes, Johnny, in the game of hockey, it really just is a funny bounce, a goal off a body, a weird-looking tip-in, and suddenly you're right back in the game.
And that's why I always say when it's something like a power play shift, you can't take a stride off. You can't take a zone off. You can't glide anywhere unless it's so that you're staying on side and you got to slow yourself down. Everywhere on the ice, while you're on the ice, you work, work, work. When you want to rest, go off the ice.
And the adversity continues because Cole Jordan called a penalty for the Huskies, so he's in the box, and the Golden Bears will have a late power play. 2 minutes for cross-checking is the call. And my goodness, what a glorious opportunity for the Golden Bears to try and pull back to within one and kind of stem the bleeding here. Stebbings, short-handed, fires it back down in. Remember, Alberta already has a power play marker tonight. That one came from Tyson LaVenture early in the first period. Now here's Hall moving through. One-on-one with Kosier. Gets it back to the point. Cross-ice pass. LaVenture can't handle it. Got to regroup. Back over to Dawson Davidson. Davidson over to Hall. Patiently waiting till LaVenture shoots, and that one's blocked. Went off a body. Husky player is down. There's another chance. Rebound in front. They score! Adam Hall tips it home, and the Golden Bears have struck gold on the power play. They're back to within one.
Well, this might be a double whammy as Landon Kosier went out to block that shot with the inside of his knee, and right away, like he was shot, he went down and couldn't get up off the ice. Now, the referee makes the right call. He's not going to blow the whistle until the Huskies got control of the puck. They weren't able to do that, and obviously when you're down a defenseman, Kinneberg not really able to do much in front of the net there. But that's a really tough swing, as now it's a one-goal game and you're probably down a defenseman for at least the end of this period while he gets assessed, and one of your better defensemen in Landon Kosier.
Adam Hall with his 6th power play marker of the season. He is dangerous when the Golden Bears have the power play, and suddenly when you thought the floodgates were opening, they close up and start flooding the other way. The Golden Bears now down 5-4. We've seen 7 goals in this second period alone, Johnny, as another puck is tipped towards Kruger. Look out. Losing his stick there is Keeler. Barrows fires it back in for the Huskies, as Akinchuk grabs it for the roadside behind the net. We've seen comebacks before and lead changes all the time when these two teams meet. It always seems like it's a seesaw battle, and for a while it looked like the Huskies might be in blowout territory, but the Alberta Golden Bears said no way, and looking for maybe a little more late in this second period. As Barrows tips it off the boards, going after it is Gustafson with Tkachuk on him. There's Keeler going after the puck now. It gets on the stick there of Yakimchuk, who fires it down the ice. And we'll bring it back with 34 seconds to go in this second period.
And now I know it wasn't a hit or a dirty hit or anything like that that gets your player out of the game, or at least out for a little bit of time here in Landon Kosier, but if that happens to my teammate, I take it a little personally, even if it is just the hockey game, and I want to go out and get my pound of flesh right away. And that's where I would have loved to have seen number 29 up on the wing to just instill that fear and get the puck going the other way and maybe stop the flow that's been going, like you said, that floodgate sort of reversed and it's now flooding the other way. I'd love to see a guy like Penner get out there and just stop that gap.
Yeah, he reminds you of that kind of bruising linebacker in football, right? You know, maybe not the smoothest, but pretty smooth, but tough enough. It's all muscle with him. There's a shot. Kruger makes the save with a couple of Huskies right in front of him, including Cade Hayes.
Nice job to locate there. Yeah, that was two big bodies in front of him.
as we get a look at the shot from the point. So Saskatchewan will line up with Dawson Holt, and countering the other way is Justin Hall for Alberta on this critical face-off with 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Gustafson backhands that one. Alberta clears, and they got numbers coming back the other way. Here's Hall again, shoots, good save by Meyer. There's a rebound there behind the net. Who's gonna grab it? McGregor going after it. It comes onto a Husky stick. 15 seconds to go, and Saskatchewan hoping to stem the damage here late in this second period. They don't want to allow another one and give Alberta a game-tying goal in the final seconds of this second frame as Cole Jordan goes after it. Look out, backhand chance from a sharp angle, and that's going to do it after 40 minutes. 5-4 Saskatchewan over the Golden Bears, and we have a doozy at Merlis Belsher here, John, with 1 period left to go.
Oh boy, wow, you think only 1 period left to go. The way it's been going, you never know. It was all Huskies to start the second period. They seemed like they were going to run away with it, and at times I thought the Bears had given up. Give the Bears credit, they did not give up, and they had enough fight just to pull within reach, and then they had enough jump to get it close. Now they've got a whole head of steam going into the dressing room, and they've got to have maybe a reimagined third period here. And for the Huskies, it'll be interesting to see if Kosher makes it back out, and it'll be interesting to see how they assess or how they attack this Bears team.
It's a 5-4 lead for the home side for the Saskatchewan Huskies. You're watching on TELUS Optic TV, CBC Gem, and Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. We'll be back with third period action in just a few moments. Don't go away.
Drink BioSteel, the right fuel.
Well, the anticipation has been building all week, but the stakes are especially high today. The Saskatchewan Huskies have an opportunity to wear the Canada West title crown in college men's hockey if they can get past the Mount Royal Cougars.
We're here. We're at this point. You've earned the opportunity to be in this position. So enjoy the moment, guys. Relax, be free out there. The structure will protect you, but you gotta play free. And you gotta go after it right off the start, okay? We're all in, we believe in each other. There's no better place that I'd rather be with this group of beauties to watch you guys go to battle for each other, okay? Hey, you win together, you walk together forever. Let's go and get it done.
Welcome to Championship Weekend here at Merlis Belsher Place. The Saskatchewan Huskies and Mount Royal Cougars getting ready to do battle for the 2025 Canada West Conference Finals. Welcome back, folks. Well, 20 minutes left to decide who will win the Canada West Men's Hockey Conference Championship. So far, no score after 40 minutes. Boy, the tension has really built up. It's been a goaltender's clinic so far in this one. John, I can only imagine what it feels like right now coming out for this third period. Championship banner. These dogs are the best in the West. The Saskatchewan Huskies are Canada West Men's Hockey Champions.
I grew up here on this farm. I'm a fourth-generation farmer. I love taking care of the cows. I know quality of milk that's leaving my farm. Sask Milk is checking to make sure that the product that farmers are sending is of the highest quality.
In 2021, we sat down and we had a visit and said, well, we want to include Indigenous content in our program. So what does that mean? Well, I said, well, give us tobacco first, because that tobacco is you're asking for permission, like, because you're also asking the Creator or Mother Earth to help answer those. And we sat down and said, well, why don't we create a song? So like the song that we sing is specifically for this. It's not sung for anybody else. So when we created that song, we asked the song maker, we all did it together, and we asked that it be your prayer song. So that song belongs to this group. When you graduate and go on to a different life, you'll still have that song to carry you. That sense of belonging that we created, I really hope it goes a long way. Even after I retire from singing, I hope my singers continue. And when your kids grow up and they become football players, what if they're here? Right? What if the drums are part of it, and they'll say, Dad, you know what? These guys that drummed. Dad, they used to drum when I was here. I was one of the first group that started this. And we have the opportunity to be an ingredient in the recipe of reconciliation, right? In 10 years or 15 years from now, we all have that opportunity to create sport for everybody. And I'm glad to be a part of this. So if there's any questions or any comments, anything that you want to ask, I'll do my best to answer.
I can just comment. Yeah, I know like our group would really appreciate it. It's something we always look forward to coming out to the ground.
Yeah.
It's something, yeah. Can you just kind of speak on behalf of us?
Yeah.
We absolutely love it. So appreciate you doing it.
There's always those jitters when you walk out onto the court and you get to see your friends, family, community members, people who have supported you through, you know, your entire life, and you get to be able to kind of showcase your talents with your teammates. My name is Gage Grasick, and I'm on the Husky women's basketball team. If you would have asked me 15 years ago in elementary school, you're going to be playing on one of the best, you know, university basketball teams in Canada West, led by the best coaching staff in youth sports, I probably would have, you know, laughed in your face and said that's impossible. But now it really is possible. Investing in women's sports is just something you can never lose on. You strive for perfection on the soccer pitch, the volleyball court, the basketball court, and that translates into real life. One of the best quotes that coach has always said is, what is going to be your impact once you leave this team? How are you going to impact the community? What are you going to do to make someone else's day better, or to make something happen?
For 65 years, we've sown the seeds of Saskatchewan's innovative nature. We have supported farmers here at home and around the world and helped feed the future together. Today, Nutrien is the province's largest private sector employer and the largest producer of potash in the world. Join us as we celebrate 65 years of potash production, as well as the hard work and dedication of the people of Saskatchewan. from Saskatchewan to the world for 65 years.
When my sister introduced me to wrestling, I had no idea that I would like it so much. My name is Caitlin Clatney, and I compete with the Husky women's wrestling team. The funding has definitely made it possible for me to have a little bit more focus on my academics. I've made all academic Canadian 3 years now, going on 4 hopefully. I'm excited to be a nurse. People ask me how it is in school, and I tell them hard, but it's going to be worth it. It's so rewarding, even just being in clinical as a student, helping the patients. Like, it makes me emotional. Lots of tears on my first clinical, but in a good way, happy tears. Seeing the little girls on the side of the mat, the pups, watching us, they see blood, sweat, tears, and it lights them up. They see us being rough and gritty, and they see the fight. I think that they get so excited, like they want to be that, and maybe that's the first time they're realizing that they want to be like that. I see myself in those little girls, and lots of them do multiple sports as well. Some of them are in gymnastics and cheerleading and soccer, and we just hope that, I hope that wrestling's the one that they pick. I think it's an awesome sport.
Welcome to Synergy Credit Union, your trusted financial partner right here in Saskatoon. From savings accounts and home loans to supporting local businesses and investing in our youth, we're here for you every step of the way. Plus, with convenient digital banking and a local member contact center, managing your finances is easier than ever. Come visit us. We're here to help.
For the majority of my youth career, I was coached by males, I trained with males, I was often the only female on my team. So I think it's really important for there to be female representation in sports at a high level, because I honestly didn't know what there was out for me until I got to later years in high school. My name is Anna Oliver. I am a Husky athlete for the women's soccer team. It's really empowering for any female athlete that is trying to pursue their athletic goals at a higher level to see that there are people that care and there are people that want to invest in women's sports and cheer for women's sports. To see that come back and directly influence me, both in my academic and athletic pursuits, just felt grateful for the support of the community in making that funding happen. We've seen this past 2 years, what happens when you give the funding and the recognition women's sports deserves, how many people go to games and how widely these games are watched. And it's really painting a picture for young female athletes of where they can be if they put their mind to it and they keep working hard at it.
You know what to do.
HSAS is a union representing over 4,000 specialized healthcare professionals. HSAS members have the skills to help you understand your medications, improve your breathing, manage your mental health concerns, and make better choices. If you need us, HSAS professionals can help.
I don't know which one, I don't know who to talk to, man. I got trouble on my right and trouble on my left. I'm just gonna have to be silent for the rest of the day, man. Woo, doggy. Look at all these guys wearing sleeves, eh? Back in my day, We used to get cold and just run dirt on it. I'm a clip farming king, man. Yeah, it's coming from Charlie Park. Mr. Aura, eh? When he's like aura farming with all the fireworks. Teklu, man, you gotta start making pizza, buddy. You couldn't even block me on Snapchat, buddy.
Chad, did you get that?
These bags are your grandparents. Don't kick them. He does look handsome today. I think it's that towel warmer. Makes your butt look big. No spitting, no cussing. And let's have a great rest of the day, eh? I love box on 3. 1, 2, 3. Buddy to say hello to? No, okay.
I had my mic up.
Stop! He stopped him!
God, you're just talking way more than you know.
Well, I'm trying to like make it some content.
Trying to make it entertaining.
Say hi, Mom. Say Mom. Okay, man. That was terrible.
Money. It's easy come, easy go. That's why we created the Innovation No Fee Bank Account. That's right, no fees. Zilch, zero, nothing, nada. We've also thrown in free and unlimited Interact transfers. Visit our website to sign up today and use the promo code HUSKY50 to earn a $50 incentive. You'll also be entered to win one of 2 $500 prizes. Now that's what I'm talking about. The Innovation Federal Credit Union No Fee Bank Account. How much could you be saving?
Attention Husky fans, please be advised the game will be resuming shortly. We ask that you make your way back to your seats. If you come back once play has resumed, please wait for a stoppage to return to your seats to ensure your safety, as the puck may leave the ice surface at any time.
Welcome back to Merlis Belsher Place. Matt Young, John Flanders, the rest of our crew here on Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. Also, TELUS Optic TV and CBC Gem. And it's the Saskatchewan Huskies with a 5-4 lead, but just by the skin of their teeth, because the Alberta Golden Bears in that final 5 minutes, John, really poured it on. It was 5-2 for Saskatchewan. And then Alberta put 2 more goals on the board. We saw 7 goals in that second period. And I think we're in for some fireworks here in the third.
And it's the contrast, because the people in the stands and the people watching at home, they're loving this game. I think both coaches are having a little bit of gray hairs building up on their heads. Because it's not exactly a coach's delight here back and forth. But nonetheless, we're going to be in for an incredible third period. I was saying to you, Matt, 2 things I want to see from the Huskies. Keep that speed, but then just a little simpler on the ice with their plays, with their chip-ins, maybe a little bit more dump and chase so that everybody on the ice knows where the puck is going. You see there on the replay, we'll wait and see if Landon Kozier's made his way back to the bench. He is on the ice now, taking a bit of a test lap. So we'll see if he's able to go, and definitely not an easy place to wear a puck is on the inside of the knee.
He's shaking his head like he's okay, so it looks like he's going to be fine. If you're the Golden Bears right now, you come in feeling some momentum. You were down 5-2. It looks like the Huskies, again, were in blowout territory, and then suddenly the teeter-totter flipped the other way. So we'll see what happens here in the third period, but I think either team, you don't want to take a penalty. A power play goal can really flip things on a dime, and so we'll see how that shapes up here in this contest.
And that's where I say, sometimes if you're so worried about the puck and puck plays, you might swing and knock somebody off their feet and take an unfortunate penalty. So when you chip it and then you race for the puck, the other player is going to have to haul you down, and then you might have the advantage.
Hall up on Keeler for the face-off. It's the Golden Bears that win it back. Shovel all the way down back into the Saskatchewan Husky zone. Battle for the puck down in the corner. Tkachuk fires it down to Kimchuk for the roadside as he tips it up. Laventure taps it right in, and Kinneberg grabs that puck. Golden Bears first shift done already. Get some fresh legs out there. It's Kinneberg out there with Stebbings. He throws it towards the net. Kruger didn't have to make a save there as it went just a little bit wide. Now here's Stebbings, fires it back. Didn't get much on it. Turned over in the neutral zone. Cole Jordan out there with Reinhart. Now to catch to retrieve the puck for Alberta. Gets it back to McGregor. Over to Gustafson. Now Boykoy tries to split the defense. Now it's Thacker. Thacker knocked off the puck. Comes outside the line. Alberta will have to regroup. McGregor fires it back in. Meyer comes out to play the puck. Golden Bears getting some fresh legs out there. Cole Jordan out with Josh Pillar, Dawson Holt, and Connor Roulette. Boy, they've been a deadly line so far tonight for Saskatchewan. Here's Lamanna trying to come back the other way. Across the blue line, feeds it back. Dawson Holt came back to grab the puck, and it looked like he might have gotten a high stick up in the face. And Saskatchewan is going to go on the power play early in this third period. We'll have a look at it right here. And hard to tell if it might have been the back of the stick, but...
And I think it was, you know, like it was the flat part of the blade, and so it wasn't one of those ones that's going to cut the skin. And so I don't think Holt was too concerned about whether there might be an extra 2 added to that penalty, but that was just like I said, Matt, when you're fighting for that loose puck and you get a little too puck focused, you can lose a little bit of control of your stick. And that's what exactly happened right there. A big opportunity here on this Husky power play.
Huskies win it back all the way back. In fact, down the ice, right back to Nolan Meyer. Here's Kozer. Getting it up to Connor Roulette. Over to Holt with Keeler. Now back to Roulette. Keeler going towards the net. One-on-one with Kimchuk. Now Dawson Davidson backhands it. Can Kozer hold the line? He does. Feeds it over to Holt in the slot area. Here's Chance Petruik. Petruik, rink-wide pass is intercepted. Look out. Here come the Golden Bears. 3-on-1. Short-handed. Davidson fires, and that one's tipped up into the netting. Good save there by Meyer.
So what was working for the Huskies in the first and second, that skip pass, as you see, they were trying to find Roulette, and that goes through 2 Alberta players. It's a high risk, low or high reward, but at that point in the game, I think you want to be a little bit more sure about going around the horn. Make it a little bit harder work in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish, but you have a little more control and confidence. You know where the puck is going.
Now here's Reinhart behind the net. At one time played for the Prince Albert Raiders. In fact, Kozer, Keaton Sorensen, Rhett Reinhardt, and Ty Prefontaine all at one time played for Prince Albert, so they're familiar with each other. Now back to Raphael Pelche. Spins around with a couple of Golden Bears on him as the Huskies take over. It's Chase Bertholet. Feeds it back. Reinhardt gonna go for a skate behind the net. Over to Josh Pillar. Now one-on-one, moves it back to Reinhart. Now back to Pillar towards the net. Centering pass in front. Great save by Cougar. Rebound in front. They score! The Huskies strike on the power play. It's back to a 2-goal lead for the home side. And look who it is. Carter Stebbings.
And or Ryan Smith, because he put that one in the net from inside of the crease. And an excellent play by Raphael Pelche as he gets this pass right in the high slot area, fires that shot right away, and then Stebbings makes no mistake. He knows that's where he's needed to be, is right in front of the net, finding any loose rebounds, and he does just that. And are they getting a new puck, or what's going on here?
Well, the officials Skating quickly over to the Huskies bench. Now they get back on the ice. Carter Stebbings, what a game for him. As Saskatchewan opens up the 2-goal lead again, a hat trick for Stebbings. And number 15 is going to circle this one on the calendar as one of his best games for Saskatchewan. Here's Jared Penner trying to hold it in for Saskatchewan, can't do it. Now comes back to the stick of Cole Jordan. That's Carter Stebbings' 11th goal of the year. And his second power play marker of the season as well. The fourth-year man who, again, we talked about it earlier, spent time previously with the Swift Current Broncos, is certainly paying dividends today. Now moving the puck up to Cade Hayes. Dumps it back. Goes back behind the net over to Yakimchuk. And the Bears try to break out. This one tipped up high and hits a portion of the netting that kind of lays over the glass there. So we'll get a face-off with 16:07 to go here in this third period.
Just going back in again, and you can see on the replay there, that's a really great play. A lot of forwards there in Belsher's place would probably start to sneak down and get close to the in-between hash mark zone or even closer to the crease. And what happens then is you just made yourself very easy to cover for the defenders. By getting out a little higher, it forces the defender and the forward in the middle to have a conversation about who's going to take them.
Puck fired back into the Husky zone. You know, we often talk about Saskatoon Blades, or former Saskatoon Blades on the ice, but, you know, I mentioned earlier how Kosher, Sorensen, Reinhardt, and Prefontaine all at one time played for the Prince Albert Raiders. A couple of other Prince Albert connections. Josh Pillar and Ashton Furster, who's not in the lineup tonight, also played in Prince Albert. They played with the Prince Albert Mintos AAA squad at one point. So lots of Prince Albert flavor on this Husky squad and really across U Sports as well. There's Nolan Meyer swinging it around. LaVenture trying to go after it. Body's starting to fly everywhere now as things start to get a little physical down in that corner. And Stebbings swings it loose and it comes on the stick of Tkachuk. Huskies on a change. They're gonna get some fresh legs out there. Stebbings tips it back down to Keeler. He bumps Davidson a bit. Keeler sends it in front, nobody home, so Holt is going to have to circle back for Saskatchewan. Now Kinneberg fires it back down in the corner as Kruger comes out to play the puck. Davidson backhands it down the ice to Boyko. He couldn't grab it. Now Holt out there with Pillar. Holt splits the defense in front to Pillar. Oh, he couldn't quite pull the trigger. Had a good chance though. Now it's Connor Roulette with a couple of Golden Bears around him. Gets it back to Kinneberg, fires it back down into the corner. Josh Pillar from behind the net. It squirts loose and onto the stick of Popovich. Tries to get it out. Couldn't quite do it as Kosher holds the line. Yakimchuk takes a huge bump there. Now Davidson gets it past Roulette. Can the Alberta Golden Bears clear here? No, they can't. It's Josh Pillar right in front of the net, centering pass. Good stick there by Yakimchuk. He blocked it. Now a rink right pass over to Landon Kozer. Puts it back down behind the net. Huskies circling it. It's Kinneberg. Tips it back to Josh Pillar. Rink wide pass. Kozer again. Back down low. They cycle the puck over to Roulette. Back to Kinneberg. Puts it on net. Rebound is there. Alberta clears it away from danger territory. It's Roulette, though, who's still got it behind the net. Spins around, trying to find someone to pass it to. Holt is calling for the puck. Now it comes back to Kinneberg. Looking for some space. Back down to Roulette. Shoots. Good save there by Kruger. Roulette still got the rebound. Puts it back on net again. A sharp angle shot. That one goes up high. Here's Kozer. Skates down into the corner. Can the Huskies hold it in? No. Finally it comes out. Good thing it did. Alberta was on a long shift there. Now coming back the other way, it's Berthelot. That one doesn't make it through. I think it might have gone off the iron. Berthelot so close, just inches away, and the Golden Bears definitely on their heels here. A flurry of pressure for the Saskatchewan Huskies over the last 3 minutes. 24-23 the shots. But Ethan Kruger that time, he stood tall in net.
And just an interesting one there as Reinhardt went back for the puck. Now the rule is on an icing, if you don't make an effort and you maybe could have reached for it, the linesman will wave it off. Reinhardt reached for it, and in doing so, he kind of took himself out of balance, and he actually would have lost that race, but it was smart that he did, because that attempt at reaching for the puck is what made the linesman say, yes, this will be icing. Boy, the game of inches, and I like that effort there. It's a very interesting gamesmanship that goes on between defenders and the linesman.
Sort of the little things, the unsung moves that don't get a lot of attention. Hall out there with Reinhardt in a battle. Reinhardt squirts it back to Cole Jordan. And Saskatchewan moves out right away again. It's Chance Petruik. Nice pass up to Pelche, moving up ice past the blue line, fires it behind the net. McGregor swallows that up for the Bears. Jordan fires it back in, and Petruik has to get back on side. Now here's Pacheco. Out there with Lamanna. Puck behind the net. Centered in front. Great save by Meyer. What a save on a point-blank shot. There's McGregor again at the top of the face-off circle. Rink-wide pass over to Lamanna. Lamanna spins around from Petruik, looking towards the net. Now back to the point. Here's McGregor, puts it on net. Bouncing puck. It flutters up in the air and is gloved down. Ben Saunderson now gets a hold of it for Saskatchewan, and he flips it up high and down the ice. Dumped right back in by the Golden Bears. Behind the net with it, it's Cole Jordan. Huskies getting a change. Ethan Renier out there with Cade Hayes. Now it's Jared Penner with the puck. Hayes going after it down in the corner. Lays a hit there on DeWitt. Now back outside the line. A turnover in the neutral zone. Now back on a Huskies stick, it's Logan Barrows with Kinneberg. 27-23, the shots in favor of Saskatchewan. Hayes goes after it, swings it around the other way to Renier. The former Mount Royal Cougar swings it back the other way. Alberta intercepts that opportunity, and Hall's going to try and get it past Kinneberg. Can't do it. Kinneberg still holding the defense there for Saskatchewan. Now it's Tkachuk out there with Kozer. Stebbings is up ahead. An errant stick out on the ice as Tkachuk tried to move through, couldn't get past the defense, and now both the Halls are going to swing it down into the corner the other way. Here's Landon Kozer. Stebbings bothering Hall a bit. It's put off the glass and down the ice, and Tkachuk is going to have to retrieve it for the roadside. Hall backhands it. Kinneberg intercepted that pass. The defense on both teams not really letting anybody set up over the last little while here. Now it's Tkachuk. Backhands it. Stebbings one-on-one with Yakimchuk. He gets knocked off the puck. Liam Keeler goes after it to rescue it for Saskatchewan. Now it's Cole Jordan. Back over to Rhett Reinhardt. Spins around at the face-off circle. Puts one on net. No rebound available. And the Alberta Golden Bears clear it out. Puck goes off his skate and redirects the other way as Boyko moves through. He puts that on net, and Meyer makes that save. Nolan Meyer, we talked about him right off the top. He had a 2.88 goals against average in 11 AHL games and an .886 save percentage. Spent time with the Blades, 216 WHL games with the Saskatoon Blades. Best season was 2021-2022, John. 60 games played, 2.82 goals against average. Boy, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
Just every night you're between the pipes. There's nothing else. Imagine playing 60 games in net, all 60 minutes.
Really incredible when you think about it. Some call him one of the best Blades goaltenders that they ever had. Centering opportunity, can't get there as Reinhardt stops that one dead in its tracks. Connor Roulette knocked off the puck by Popovich. Pacheco tried to feed it over to Lamanna, couldn't quite get it there. Now it's Roulette off the feed from Pillar. Dawson Holt towards the net. Now it's Pillar with Roulette right there. Pillar back to the point. It goes over to Barrows. He fires it back down to Holt. Holt behind the net. Squirts it in front. It's Pillar. Still looking for some room near the face-off circle. Here's Barrows from the point. Gets it back over to Roulette. Here's Pillar. Backhand over to Saunderson. He couldn't find it, and it's all the way down the ice. Boy, that would have been a nice chance. And we got some pushing and shoving, and look out. It's Jared Penner getting into the mix there with...
Or that's Pillar there.
No, that's Pillar, sorry.
Common mistake when there's a number 9 on the jersey. It's usually, and if he's getting involved physically, but that
Josh
one
Pillar's going off for Saskatchewan, and going off for Alberta right now is Marcus Pacheco.
And if I had to guess, it'll just be one on either side. I'm really liking the play from the Huskies the last 3-4 minutes there. It started with a Penner shift, just great forecheck, getting the puck in deep. Cade Hayes dumping it in behind the defense so that his guys can get in on the forecheck. And then right after that, it was the Tkachuk line with Keeler, with Stebbings. Each of the 3 guys won a race to the loose puck, and then it held that puck in. Then Kinneberg gets a shot on net. Then we get a follow-up shot on net. All coming from simple hockey. So if the Huskies can keep that up, they're going to really like the way that things open up for them here. And there's a good example. You don't want to do any more of that tonight. No more skipping passes. Especially with that guy on the ice. He's leading his team in points despite being a defenseman and despite having just 2 goals on the season. Pretty impressive distributor of the puck in Dawson Davidson.
The immediate timeout just ending here. It's a 6-4 lead for Saskatchewan. And get ready for some 4-on-4 hockey here as things are getting ready to open up. Pachurik, Kinneberg, Kosier, along with Berthelot out on the ice for Saskatchewan. Alberta counters with Hall, Davidson, Yakimchuk, and the other Hall. And Adam Hall already has a goal tonight. So 4-on-4, we'll see what they can do here. It's Adam Hall with it, along with Justin Hall, straddling the blue line, gets it up, there's a shot, good save by Meyer. Here's Berthelot. He gets knocked into the boards. Now Kosier with it. Huskies gonna try and come back the other way. Calling for the puck is Petruik, and that one's just a bit too far for him. He was calling for a lead pass. Kruger plays the puck, and the Golden Bears will continue with it. It's Dawson Davidson there, along with Yakimchuk. Now it's passed up to Davidson. His pass gets up to LaVenture. LaVenture feeds it back down to Davidson, and he can't put it home. Nobody there on the centering pass. Now back to LaVenture once again. In front, there's a shot. Good save. Rebound gobbled up away, but Alberta maintains possession. It's McGregor with it. Getting it back over to Davidson again. He shoots. That one doesn't make it through. LaVenture still got it, though. Here's McGregor. Thacker setting up in front of the net. McGregor to the net. Nice backhand chance, and Meyer managed to keep that one out. What a save as he got the pad down just in time, and a face-off coming up with 42 seconds remaining in 4-on-4 hockey.
This right here on 11, not good enough. That is not a good enough shift from Chance Petruik, a guy who they depend on to be a leader. He leads the team in offense. You have to be the hardest worker on the team if you're going to be the best player. He was not the hardest worker on the ice, and he got very lucky 3 times that shift.
Popovich wins it back to McGregor, fighting Hayes for the puck. Hayes wins that battle and gets it back to Cole Jordan. Now it's Reinhart out there with Dawson Holt and Cade Hayes. Jordan with it, gets it, the long pass up to Hayes. He's in a race with Gustafson for it, and Gustafson wins that battle. Alberta going to get a chance to set up once again here and clear. Only 15 seconds remaining in 4-on-4 hockey. A 6-4 lead for Saskatchewan with just over 7 minutes to go here in this third period. Ben Saunderson going after it, and they're going to call icing there. And so they'll bring the puck all the way back the other way, and we'll get a face-off.
And you do get the advantage here as the Bears have to stay on the ice. I don't know how long this line was out there, but could be just a hair of an advantage if there's some tired legs in green and some fresher legs in the off-white. I don't know what cream color, what would you call the Huskies jerseys tonight?
I'd say it was cream color. Liam Keeler muscles his way for the puck with Gustafson on him. Stebbings goes to the net. Keeler circles and lost track of it. Puck comes outside the line, so the Huskies will have to regroup. Now Carter Stebbings gets a hold of it off the feed from McGregor. That one was intercepted by Stebbings. Now it's Barrows. Back to Stebbings behind the net. Now Liam Keeler with it. Huskies trying to set up. Ben Saunderson. Now back to Keeler. Down low to Carter Stebbings, to Kachuk from behind the net. Back to Ben Saunderson. At the point, here's Barrows. Tees one up. That one just missed the net. Keeler finds it for Saskatchewan. Rink wide pass to Barrows again. Sharp angle shot. Puck loose right in front of the crease and open net, and nobody can get their stick on it. It's cleared away, and now Keeler is going to try again along with Ben Saunderson and the Saskatchewan Huskies. That puck was just sitting there right in that crease, and it seemed like it was forever before finally a Golden Bear stick managed to swipe it away. And Saunderson with Hall right there will squirt it out to Ethan Renier. Out with Jarrett Penner. Renier feeds it across ice over to Penner, but it looked like Kruger got his glove there first. 28-27, the shots in favor of the Huskies. Just under 6 minutes to go in the hockey game.
So there's the second one. This is Barrows after having a flubbed shot. That first one that he took from the point just jumped up on its side, and rather than kind of get all mopey and down, he stays involved, and then he sneaks his way in behind the forwards that are checking there, and he gets an awesome opportunity. A good shift there from Barrows. Haven't seen him a ton tonight, but he's been effective with his ice time.
Yeah, he's done great. There's a rebound in front, and oh man, that would have been a nice chance for Pacheco. Now the Golden Bears still got it from behind the net. It's Dawson Davidson. Can't do much with it. It comes outside, and now Cade Hayes is going to grab it for Saskatchewan. Feeds it across the blue line. Ran into too many Alberta sticks. Back the Golden Bears come the other way with some numbers. It's Boyko shoots, and we got a penalty coming up. Alberta's going to go on the power play here. It's Pacheco from the point. Good save by Meyer. And a power play coming for the roadside as Saskatchewan's going to be down a man with 5:16 to go in the third period. And one would say, John, a crucial power play.
Very big. And this one, Ethan Renier, very similar to the first period penalty, which was a cross-check. And I think it was Hall that took that one, but he telegraphed the cross-check a little too much. And we'll see here if this is the play coming back the other way. Renier in front there. He stood up at the blue line, but he extended the hands out and just enough for the referee to notice it. I liked what I saw. I would hold the line the same way, but I'm a defenseman. Right? No one's allowed getting behind me, otherwise I'm not going to see the ice again that night. But like you said, Matt, a huge penalty kill here, and maybe a few big block shots to sacrifice the body here on this short man opportunity.
What a glorious chance for Alberta, but you got to be able to convert. Holt swings this one all the way down. It goes down the ice. Remember, the Golden Bears have struck on the power play tonight. Tyson LaVenture did it earlier on in the first period. Now it's Dawson Davidson with Stebbings on him. Feeds it back to Hall. Now moving through Hall over to Popowich, and that one's intercepted. And look at this, Carter Stebbings maybe has a little bit of room, short-handed for a sharp angle shot, spins around, takes some time off the clock, a few precious seconds, goes down, and back the other way come the Golden Bears. It's Hall, dumps it off near the point, over to LaVenture, switches places with the other Hall. Now Justin Hall moving through at the top of the face-off circle. Back down low, he gets the return feed. There's LaVenture with a one-timer, and that one's blocked by Stebbings. Now Davidson, back to LaVenture, moving through again. Cross-ice pass to Hall, and that one is just a bit too far. Now another rink-wide pass, and that one's into no man's land, and it comes outside the line, and look out. It was Dawson Holt that was lurking for just a moment. Hall gets it back to the point. Here's Davidson in the slot area. Over to Hall, shoots, and Meyer makes the save. He's going to hold on to that one. 39 seconds left in the power play, and less than 4 minutes to go in the third period.
Great shift from Stebbings after he had that little flub, that little mistake in the far corner. I love what he was doing. He didn't see a good shot, and so short-handed, he's not going to just fire it and miss the net. He wanted to save some time in the corner, but he blows a tire, does get back in and makes that block shot I was talking about.
Gustafson over to Thacker now on the ice for Alberta. Looking for a lane. Feeds it back down to Boyko. He moves through, fires, and Meyer made the save. Wraparound opportunity is interrupted by Tkachuk, and no, he can't clear. So back and forth it goes. It's Boyko again. He shoots. This one's tipped up high. Bouncing puck up in the air. Kinneberg kind of gloved it down. Tkachuk now gets it back to Gustafson, over to Thacker. He trips up. Thacker back to Gustafson. Back over to Boyko. Puck went over his stick. Got to regroup and grab it. And Liam Keeler, it looks like, does enough to get it out for the Huskies. They're going to get in a much-needed change. Now just over 3 minutes remaining in the hockey game. A 6-4 lead for Saskatchewan, trying to hang on against some recent pressure by the Golden Bears. Conrad Belcourt doesn't have his stick. Look out. And Chase Berthelot spins around and fires it back down in the corner, and the Huskies going to take control. It's Renier out there with Pillar. Pillar's tied up. 4 players jostling for it. It comes loose onto the stick of Ben Saunderson. Back to Barrows, who you mentioned earlier on the nice effort to create a scoring chance. Saunderson tits that one back up. Pacheco can't handle it. Here's Connor Roulette. Look out, right in front of his own net. You're shaking your head right now. That's a dangerous place to put the puck. Now it's Ben Saunderson out there with Roulette. He shoots. That one's blocked. Yakimchuk and Belcourt takes a huge bump. Now Belcourt fires it back down over to Hall. He's knocked off the puck, and oh, Berthelot's not onside. Boy, he made a good effort. Nice to see the replay there, but that puck just squirted a bit over the blue line.
And I wonder, you know, it all happens within the half of a blink of the eye there. And I wonder if he was thinking about being on the other side of it and wanting to not.
Yeah, oh man, it's
just
close.
Long enough.
Good eye by the official.
It was, but
yeah.
And you know what? You're changing direction from north-south. You're kind of getting your what is it called? Your directions mixed up there. So as he's spinning around, his brain's telling him, "No, you're onside," and then he waits just a second too long.
By the way, tonight's Stick Up for Pride night here at Merlis Belsher Place. A couple of players do have the Pride tape on their sticks, and it's seemed to work, at least for the Huskies right now, who have a 2-goal lead with less than 2 minutes to play. It's fired back in on an empty net from Dawson Holt, so the extra attacker is out for the Golden Bears. Here's Thacker getting it up to LaVenture. Squirts past one Husky player, now fired by Jordan, scores! An empty net goal, some insurance late in the third, and Saskatchewan piles it on. They're going to walk away with a victory against Alberta tonight.
What a bounce there, playing the wind, that Saskatchewan wind. He gets it going. It looked like it was going to go wide from just over the top of the circles, and it takes a nice, we'll call it a Saskatchewan hop.
There you go.
But good finish there from Jordan, and that gives you the space you need just to breathe a little bit.
How about that from Cole Jordan? A little icing on the cake. That's his 3rd goal for the season. You know, Johnny, every hockey player I've talked to said they love empty net goals. They just do. I mean, you salivate over them when you have the opportunity.
Well, and sometimes you'll see guys trying to force the pass into the guy who's going for the hat trick, especially with an empty net.
Well, Logan Barrows gets it up to Hayes, who fires, and that one just missed the net. These two teams, again, will lock horns tomorrow one more time here at Merlis Belsher as Kruger makes the save there. Elsewhere in Canada West tonight, Mount Royal, a 9-2 win tonight over Regina. That's big because Saskatchewan and Mount Royal are battling for that crucial second seed to host a home playoff series. McEwen ahead of Manitoba 3-2, and Trinity Western and UBC just about to start out on the West Coast. Here's Barrows, spins around, fires it off the boards. Josh Pillar takes a big bump there off of Gustafson. Now a centering feed over to Roulette is interrupted, and with 42 seconds moving through for the Golden Bears. Melnick, that pass doesn't go anywhere, and Gustafson's going to retrieve it for the roadside with Connor Roulette right there. Pacheco can't get that puck as it's tipped off the stick of Saunderson. Well, Saskatchewan getting a much needed win today at Merlis Belsher in front of a pretty good hometown crowd on Stick Up for Pride night tonight. They'll watch the seconds tick down. A 7-4 victory for Saskatchewan. And the Huskies continue to maintain possession of that all-important second spot in Canada West in what was a teeter-totter battle and a thrilling hockey game today.
Absolutely entertainment in spades. Anybody who was watching this game got their money's worth, no matter how much you paid for or watched or whatever. Hey, we didn't have to pay for this at all, so we got the best deal out of everybody.
There you go.
But one thing for sure is that set the stage for an even bigger game tomorrow with more on the line, as now we get closer. What do we have? 7 games left in the regular season. I can't believe it.
It flies by, and it flew by tonight. You're looking at some highlights of this one between the Golden Bears and the Saskatchewan Huskies. Nolan Meyer and Ethan Kruger faced several chances. Both teams lit the lamp behind the opposing goaltender a number of times. It was a 1-0 lead for Alberta. Then the Huskies clawed right back and never looked back after that. Folks, for the rest of our crew, I'm Matt Young and John Flatters. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on TELUS Optic TV, CBC Gem, and on Canada West TV, presented by BioSteel. The final score tonight, Huskies 7, the Golden Bears 4. So long from Merlis Belsher Place tonight in Saskatoon.